Welcome back to File Under Fire, a wrestling review podcast. I am your host, Brady. Joined with me, as always, is Dom
Fuck you, die, fuck you!
and Avi.
More damn eagle.
And today we have a very special guest. The man behind Club Lucha in its entirety, the host of the Club Lucha podcast. It is Foos.
Yeah. Hey, everybody.
Foos, can you state your full legal name and social security number and
Send a picture of
address
your
for
credit
us?
card in the.
Yeah,
My passport number
Yes.
2 and my
yeah. While we're at it, just keep sending everything
get
over.
the full portfolio built all at once.
As I've said for a long time now, you are a international man of mystery. No one knows what you do. No one knows where you live at any certain time
He
because
makes the
sometimes it's
greatest
different.
edits known to man.
That's
And
fucking true.
he just pumps out all these edits, and every time I open, it doesn't matter the social media. Every time I open a social media, I see his edits.
Listen,
Um,
it's just honestly sometimes I don't know if people can tell, but sometimes they're very lazy edits, and other times there's a system to it that I feel like I've gotten down now. I used to do
it's
them every day when I was.
it is very simple from what I've noticed. Like
Well,
Yeah.
the song choice goes a long way,
it does.
and you have excellent taste in songs, and that's like half the battle. And then the other half is it's lucha, so. It whips
He
it.
also is so good at finding the fucking perfect clips. Like, it's very. He's great at this shit.
I know when Foos is just throwing together a match edit like real quick because it's an Outcast song and usually like a WCW Nitro Lucha match.
Hey,
Oh,
you giving away the
speaking about
sauce.
language
You giving
on
away the
both of
sauce.
Outcast
But
and
hey,
WCW, why fuck with it?
yeah, I know it works every time. That's the fucked up part.
Oh,
every
listen.
Pop culture right there.
I think it is
yeah,
really funny that you found you pointed that out because that's not completely untrue. I will say. I tried. Look, like I said, I used to put them out every day, right? Like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I never did weekends because that shit. I'm not trying to watch. I'm not trying to work on a weekend.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
But at some point though, I was just like, all right, just like 3 times a week, and I figured it out. I'm gonna say it exclusively here, but like.
Oh my,
I'll do
exclusive.
like if I don't feel like really like putting one together, because I think my favorite ones are the ones where it's like a luchador, like or a rivalry or a like angle or something like that, right? Like
It's the
going all
best
the way
stuff.
through.
Those are always
Yeah,
better than the match edit.
Yeah, because when it's just a match edit, it's like you have
Limiting.
to like it has
it
to have
lacks some
something amazing
sauce.
in it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Dude, I left a comment on TikTok on your LA Park video from like I think it's from like February of 2024, and still to this day I get notifications of that comment getting likes.
Some
Like,
videos live forever. I have no
dude,
idea
it's
why.
insane. Like I'll open the app and it's literally like once a week I'll open the app and I'll like look in my notifications tab and there is somebody liked your comment and I'll click on it and it's that video and every single time I watch the video again.
I
Which
love, dude. That's probably one of my favorite LA Park. That's probably that is my favorite LA Park video ever made. But, um,
it's funny too because the match that I picked this week has clips in it or like has clips taken out of it for that edit. So there's a fun connection there too.
Full circle
it's
moment.
beast ass match too. Yeah.
We talking damn lucha libre.
Lucha, yeah,
Mhm.
of course, we're going to bring on Foos for a big Lucha episode. We are talking 4 exclusive Lucha Libre matches today.
I
I
would
think
not.
we cover
Yeah.
everybody here, right? Like, is
Mhm.
there anybody here that we like that we as a group feel like we missed of like wrestlers that need to be talked about when you're talking about Lucha?
No, that's actually a good point. I mean, no, I mean
We don't have
that's
any
hard.
Satanico or Parada
Yeah.
Morgan, but we've also got a lot of time on that front, brother.
Oh yeah,
We
There's
can say
so
this
many
is
like
the File Under
legends.
Fire lucha episode, but we're gonna have a lot of lucha episodes. We love
Because
lucha.
Lucha's the best style. It's the best.
Like I'm always happy to come back as well because it was
Yes.
hard to pick one for this.
Of
It's so
course.
hard to pick
Oh
one for
yeah,
this.
Oh, I
Mhm.
Look,
agonized. Y'all know.
dude. Yeah,
Yes.
I
I'll,
had like a
I'll be
scientific method going for this.
Albie
I was
watched like 10 matches to try and figure out what one he wanted to watch.
I focus group tested.
I was
It's
in
true.
anguish as well because I was like, I have to pick one, right? Because when you bring something to this too, like you want to pick one that is good,
Is
but it's not
impressive.
so good that everyone else has already like everybody already knows it's good. You know, like you kind of want to bring
Yeah.
one like this,
You want
like
to bring something a little under the radar.
yeah. And I won't say like
Yes.
I was gonna say I won't say that the one I brought is super under the radar or anything, but it's one that is like, you know,
It's
like
is I mean it's pretty
It's
crazy.
one
I
people need to
loved your
watch.
match. Yeah, it was so good. So
Initially, I
good.
will say, initially we wanted to do this episode like the week before H2L. And I think we were like, at least in my head, we were gonna try and do it as like an Apuestas, like pure
yeah,
Apuestas episode to kind of like build hype for H2L. Obviously, since I know like the Club Lucha pod wasn't gonna be able to like, wasn't gonna be able to get something out before it. Plus, like you guys kind of did that whole like big H2L episode last year, so this year there wasn't really much for you to like come back on. It's like, oh well, this is what happened last year if you don't remember.
Well, there was like
Um,
one feud.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that too.
It
I don't
And
know.
definitely have
so
less.
I like the way this played out because we
honestly, I
have a
did
lot of
too.
variety. We don't. I mean,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah,
we've got the
Nothing
classical lucha title match. We've got a fun brawl. We've got a beautiful trios. We've got a fever
crazy ass,
dream.
yeah,
Mhm.
crazy ass cage match. um, yeah, that like just to I guess like kind of segue into it. First, we're talking Foos' match. It is El Hijo del Santo versus Felino from Monterrey. It is 10/18/98.
If
That
that
is,
combination of words doesn't get your blood pumping, you need to go do
dude.
something else.
Bro.
This,
Santito versus Felino from Monterrey in 1998.
This match, I was DMing Ob while I was watching it. I actually love this match. Wow. This might
oh,
be a top 10
same,
favorite match.
Thing of beauty.
Uh-huh.
dude. This match, like, and like, yeah, when I looked at it, right, and like, out of the 4 matches we watched, it's the longest one, right? And so I'm like, in my head, I'm like preparing. I'm like, okay, well, this is gonna be like, this is either gonna be like really crazy or like
Meth-
painstakingly long. Like, there's no in
methodical.
between.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it somehow doesn't do either, if that makes sense. Like it's
It's
not.
the platonic ideal of the lucha title match, and we can talk about it as we talk about how it's laid out
Mm-hmm.
and all that. But like
It's so
it,
beautiful.
yeah,
I mean,
it's all you could want from it. It's not the Apuestas. It's not a bloody brawl, but
mm-mm.
the way that it builds, and you're talking two of the goats, obviously. I know. I think speaking for Foos, I think you definitely wanted to bring a Felino thing, right? I know you've been on a Felino kick.
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. Look, I love Evelino so much. Like this guy, Negro Casas. The thing about Evelino, bro, is he is so good, and then his brother is so good, and then heavy metal, he's got some pretty good ones too. I can't say I'm the most familiar with like his later stuff, but like the early 90s AAA, like 92, 93, 94 heavy metal that I've seen, I've liked it all.
Oh, he's in
And
some
Santito,
great trios. That's a tough
yeah,
spot to be in. Like you're a
yeah,
perfectly serviceable, like actually
you're
above average
you're
luchador, and your
you're a
brothers
pretty
are
good
El Felino
wrestler.
and Negro
Yeah,
Casas.
the two like best ever.
it's
Yeah, like
crazy.
it like if you're heavy metal, it's a hard shadow to live under, and like I feel like it has to be even harder for Felino because like you maybe if you're heavy metal, you can kind of like be like, okay, well, it's all right. Like I still have a good career, whereas like Felino, everybody's like, oh yeah, like you're so good, but you're not quite your brother. And it's just like, oh my god, that's like you're like praising me and then immediately just like chopping me at the knees
Yeah,
real quick.
Yeah, well, and Negro Casas' favorite wrestler of File Under Fire, as we'll see
Yeah,
here, unofficial
clearly.
mascot. But Felino is throw that out the window. Ignore the Negro Casas part.
Yeah, ignore who he
Felino
is
is
for this
an
match.
unreal wrestler in his prime, and it shows here against a guy who has a real solid argument for being the best of all time. He more than holds his own.
Yeah, if Negro Casas isn't the favorite file under fire wrestler, Santito is. I
100%,
mean,
yeah.
he is that. I mean, they're neck and neck, which is, I mean, it's apropos based
He's
off
the
of their whole
GOAT. He's the
career.
GOAT. Santino's the GOAT. I'll always say it. Whenever I get the chance, he's the best ever. That's my. Well, I'll always say that.
I think
The
it's
the
insane. I think it's so insane that he had good to great matches with every member of that, like all three of the brothers,
Oh
Negro Casas,
yeah.
Molino, Heavy Metal. Like that is like his, like, like people are always like, oh,
like he might as well be a
Santo
part of the
Jr.,
family.
Against Blue Demon Jr. But this, it's like the family that he really, really like had his best feuds with were the Casas. Like, God,
Yeah, from top to
Yeah, there's
bottom. Because
something elemental there.
like
Truly.
obviously he faces Negro Casas probably more than anybody else, but like that doesn't mean like
There's
that
unreal
doesn't mean that
chemistry, bro.
Yeah, this
he
is
can't
Unreal.
have
far
that
from the
chemistry
only
with
great
anybody
match that
else.
these guys had.
yeah,
They have a
This
whole series.
yeah. They
Yeah,
did.
they traded that WWA title back and forth for a year, and every one of them is out of this world.
I think
at
I was looking on Lucha database, and it was something like they did 10 matches for this WWA welterweight
God
belt.
damn.
I
Wow.
bet you
So
all those
I
matches
wish we had
are
all.
of this
Yeah.
quality.
At some point, I don't remember. I can't find it in my notes, but I just wrote down this is a Yave masterpiece.
100%.
Like, well, I mean, we'll get into it here. There, like, it
Beautiful.
is a lot of different, like, maneuvering out of holds into holds. There's nothing necessarily that is like ever a specific hold until a certain point, right? Like,
It's always
it's a lot
flowing.
of fighting. Yeah, it's a lot of like flowing
It's always
through the
floating, but you'll
holds.
notice that Santito gets the best of almost all of those exchanges.
Yes.
He does. He
Yeah.
does. But Felino does a great job at like fighting
Oh
to
yeah, he
like
goes for
avoid
the
those.
Latte Caballo fairly early on, and I love that spot where Felino is trying to fight out of that.
Yeah, he's like trying to get like pull his arms forward with his strength,
And
which
they do
I mean
that a
it makes
couple of
sense.
times where he's going for that hold, and Felino working his way
Later,
out of it.
yeah, and like he can never really get like he tries to get him in the surfboard too. He can never really get him in that.
He gets him in a nasty. Uh, what is it that he gets him in early? The Cavernaria.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and
God, that
like
is a brutal submission. I love that move.
Anything
dude,
that's like at the back of the knees, that's just gotta suck.
yeah, he like when he gets him like in like pulled back like that, dude, he is like he's wrenching on. I thought that was gonna be the
I
finish of the
did
first
too. That
fall.
one really got me in the first fall when he gets that Cavernaria on. It's super nasty, and he is
Yeah,
cranking it. And we're programmed now to see that as like an instant kill,
Hmm.
which I
right.
also love about the Yave stuff. Like you've got those holes that are just like it's game over.
Yeah, and the
Mm-hmm.
struggle with those moves is so perfect.
But
Like,
Felino, he works his way out of that one.
uh-huh.
But even when they
Mm-hmm.
stand up in that first fall, Santito is a little bit ahead.
Not to cut
Yeah,
forward either, I also think this match is some of the best kickouts I've ever seen.
Yeah. Oh
oh
my
yeah,
God.
Oh
A lot
yeah.
of the ropes too, like using the ropes, the
Yeah,
rope
the
break.
rope work,
yeah.
the rope stuff. Ooh.
A lot of the rope work. I think that most like from memory, I'd have to read through, but I feel like a lot of that comes through like the second and third fall.
Mm-hmm.
It's near
Um,
the end because it's really like he
but
gets
yeah,
him
it's like
in his insta kill finish as we're talking about, and he's in that rope. And it's like, oh shit, he's in the rope. He's good. It's
Well, like I said,
perfect.
this is like the perfectly classically structured big Lucha title match where the first fall is pretty much all on the mat. I mean, there's a really nice tope de Cristo,
Hmm.
but for most of it, they're feeling each other out and struggling on the mat, and it is as good as it gets on that front. There's none
Hmm.
of that shit you get in 2025 wrist lock, fucking roll through. It's none of that. It is
yeah,
just
that's the
beautiful and
like
creative and
you never know where
vicious.
they're gonna go from a hold. I think is the most important part.
Yeah.
Like once, like it doesn't matter who gets the hold locked in the first fall. Like you never know where they're gonna go from it, and even whenever it's like clear, like at certain points where like Felino can maybe get out or Santito could maybe get out, like they get out and then they're immediately back into something. Like it's not like they're not like stand up, look at each other like I would call that the Dean Malenko thing of get out of a
No, there's
hold,
none of that
stop, look at each other.
face off stuff. Yeah.
No, they and like
And it flows, but there's still struggle. There's no giving of anything.
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
Everything is like perfectly like I'm gonna use the leverage I have from this position, to get you in a hold. It's not there's no I don't want to call anybody out, but watching a modern lucha match this weekend where there's some Yaveo stuff and they kind of forget to hook the arm and there's none of that. It's not nobody's giving anybody anything. It's still
No,
struggle, but it flows beautifully. It's almost rings like. But of course you get the spectacular, crazy pretzel lucha stuff too.
Mhm.
So
They
it's
they
like
dude,
fight
best of
for
both
every
worlds.
inch, basically. It's a very good way to put it.
the pretzel is a really good way to describe a lot of these submissions too, because it's not like you're not looking at something that is ideal or perfect in positioning or whatever that may be. I mean, you are like you're just trying to get any limb you can and try and put torque on any part of the joints that you can. Like you are doing whatever is possible to try and cause pain to your opponent. And I think you even see that like a little bit later in the match, not to skip too far ahead, when Felino has that kind of like almost figure four ish maneuver. Like it's not it's not like how you don't see him hold the leg up and do the whole trot around or nothing. Like I don't even like I watch the match and I still can't even comprehend into my head how he like got his legs into that position. But once he did, you're like, oh, that looks terrible. Like that just looks like ass.
That inverted figure four? Is that ended the second fall? I think, right?
Yeah, I
It was
believe
He
brutal
so.
gets it
looking.
on quick. He gets it on quick too. Like, which I
He
guess
takes
that
his
is like,
opportunity.
that is, I guess that is kind of part of like Felino's thing though. Like, cause they were calling him like he's like a luchador más rápido, right? He's like the fastest. He's supposed to be like the fastest
Mm-hmm.
luchador
And he
in like,
shows I feel like he shows that really well
Well,
too.
that's how
yeah.
he gets that second fall because like I said, when they're on the mat and even when they stand up in that first fall, Santito is a step ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then we get into the second fall. It's more Santito. He has the knee lift. He's still kind of dominating him on the Yaveo stuff. He can't quite get the clutch, so he slaps on an armbar, and Felino powders and kind of favors the leg. And then he comes back in and he uses that quickness.
Mhm.
Like that's when he flips that switch. And then it's as you said, it's a very quick sequence where he gets that figure forearm with that quickness and kind of turns the tide. Because I'd say for the first 11 or 12 minutes, I mean, they're going back and forth, but it's still
It's
Santito on
mostly
top for a lot
Santito.
of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And Santito, he dominates that end of that first fall. I do want to say this. There's like he does like a springboard, almost kind of like a springboard Hurricane Rana, towards the end of that first fall. And I don't remember what I think they were on the mat, and then he kind of like takes it to the ropes and springboards off and does the smoothest. I mean, like he was like floating in the air, Hijo del Santo. Like and that gets Felino out of the ring, and then Santito hits that tope to the outside, and then he pulls him in and does la de caballo, and then ends that first one. But like you said, it's just like Santo, 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 Santo. Like
We
he's
talked
like
about
in
this
control.
last week too, though. Like every piece of offense that he does is spectacular, but not
Mhm.
in the Will Ospreay like look at me kind of way. It's like he looks like a
It's not
different species.
flashy.
You said he's floating.
Yeah.
He's not like a physically imposing guy to look at.
Is he floating for 4 minutes?
Yeah, I mean,
But
This is
yeah,
the
I mean
one week I can make
everything
that
he
joke.
does is like holy shit. Like
and the
this is
thing
the
is,
goat.
like you're saying, like like you said, it's not like it's spectacular, but these are like simple moves, right? That he is able to do with so much grace and so much fluidity, and like at the same time, they look absolutely devastating.
Yeah, they
So
still look forceful. It's not balletic in any way. It's
No.
like he's still smoking him on that. Like there's one point, I don't even remember where it is in the match, where he hits that like victory roll from the apron.
Oh
Like
yeah,
Polino
yes,
is in
yeah.
the ring, and it's like I've never seen that in my life. And a million
That's
other guys could do that, and I'd roll my eyes at it. But the way he does it is like, I mean, it looks real.
Mm-hmm.
he it's almost like he buys in so much that he's I guess that's it. Like he's buying into it so much that it makes me buy into it even more. Like he's just so smooth with it. Like it's like something that he has practiced. It looks like something he's practiced time and time and time and time and time and time, like over and over and over again, to the point where it's like almost like a second nature. But God,
Yeah, but it's still got that violence behind it. And
yeah,
Felino is good at that too, though. I mean, he has that same quality to a lot of the stuff that he does.
Mm-hmm.
Because he comes in and uses that quickness in that second fall to get control, and then he throws on. I've never seen that figure four variation,
yeah. I mean,
and
that's
it
the thing
looks
is like
gnarly as hell.
He's pushing
it is
back on his
not.
knees and shit. That probably sucks.
Yeah, I mean, he's pushing back on his knees with the extra foot. He's like, I think at one point he like kicks him in the stomach. Like, he is just trying to brutalize him like as best as we possibly like as possibly can. Um, yeah,
And then we
dude.
get the third fall fireworks.
Oh
yes.
yeah, the third fall is everything it needs to be. Like, it is like all that built up aggression basically.
I
That
really love. I was gonna say about this third fall, like you mentioned the knee, right? Like he went for that cruceta on his knee, and then as soon as they start that third fall, there's a part. It must be like a minute or two into that third fall, or maybe it is the literal start of it. But Felino is going for Santos' knee again. I think he's trying to put him almost like what Ultimo Guerrero uses, that pulpo, where he puts the knee behind the head and like kind of lays
Mm-hmm.
back.
mm-hmm. Yep.
But Santo is like it looks like he is in so much danger. Like he sells it too. Like Felino's about to take his knee off, and he's like rolling around. He's trying to crawl away, rolling around, really like I don't know, like struggling really hard to not get put in this, to not have that knee hurt even more.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it adds even more because like even later on, that knee when he does like Avi was saying, like the fireworks, like when he starts doing, when he starts flying to the outside, he starts doing these many things. He's still cognizant of the knee, like the danger that knee was in and the pain that he still has on that knee. And to me, God, that made that third fall so good.
It's
It
intense.
it
Yeah. Cause he.
one spot I want to mention is like at one point Santito gets up on like Felino's shoulders almost in like a kind of a weird way, and he like has the arms and he's like
Dude, yeah,
wrenching
he's
the
like
arms
all over
back.
his back like a monkey.
Yeah,
He's crawling over
Yeah,
his
yeah.
back, and it's fucking awesome. It's so cool.
dude, it is so crazy. You get the classic Santito spots too here. Like,
Yeah,
we didn't
I've
mention
said
it, but
before the
it
Santito head scissor spot. Not to cut you off, that's my
yeah,
favorite
in the
spot
first
ever.
fall,
Ever
you
when
get
he
that.
twirls.
You get that
Oof.
The neck wrench.
probably.
Yep.
Yeah, the neck
Yeah, you get
wrench.
that probably like 2 minutes in or so. Like
He
you get
makes it
like
look
that's
so good. Oh
really
my
early.
god.
That's kind of where like the grappling I feel like starts. Like that's where it like really becomes what it is. And then like you get the Santito dive through the middle rope past the ring post.
And he smokes him. Because
Smokes him hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
absolutely.
probably, what, 5 months ago watched literally 200 Elio Dos Santos matches
Yeah,
and
yeah, he
never saw him not smoke somebody on that
I
once.
bet you they were all good matches on his end too, right?
Dude,
dude, he hit
unbelievable. If you're talking consistency, like consistently high level,
That's why I'm saying he's the
nobody
best.
comes
Yeah.
close. Like he's got the super high level, but like everything else is right below that tier.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
To what you said, Dom, about like the interesting kickouts, I think you really get that in the third fall, like when they're kind of going for the bombs.
They have
So
it's the type of kickouts you only see in like old Joshi. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, like Santito hits like a sunset flip off the top rope,
Smokes
basically.
the fuck out of him with that power
Dude,
bomb.
and yeah, and like
Yes. Oh my god.
Felino is like he's flat in the 2 count, and like he lifts his shoulder up, but it's not like the super defiant like putting the arm up. He
No,
just
they're
kind of like
tired.
he just kind of just pulls his body up. Yeah, he's
Mm-hmm.
just like ugh.
Well, you
All
get a
right.
crazy succession bombs here. You get
Mm-hmm.
after that,
Yes.
you get the Splash Mountain,
Yeah.
Which he smokes him
Felino
on
has
back
won a
too.
lot of matches with,
He smokes
Yeah.
the fuck out of him like
and
like
that
a
ring
sack of
doesn't
bricks.
give at
Yeah,
all. He
like a
doesn't
sack of
bounce
bricks.
at
Bam.
all.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Then you get the big power bomb on Felino. Then you get the big top rope power bomb on Santito.
Yeah, after he
I thought he
tries
was
to go
cooked
for the
there.
Frankensteiner and
And
like
like right after that, and I wrote it down, we're 28 minutes in, is when you get your first punches out of frustration,
gosh.
which is
Ugh.
beautiful. Because this is not I mean, it's like, there's some violence here,
Mm-hmm.
but
But
they're
it's
doing
not
it like
like.
within the rules of Lucha Libre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was gonna say one of my favorite things about Santito is he is a technical, right? Like for the majority of his time, he's a technical, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's literally el hijo de santo, bro. Like he's the son of the saint, right?
Yeah.
And but even when he is technical, he does not let any of these rudos like walk over him. If that makes sense. Like
That's
No.
literally one of the reasons why he's one of my favorites, because he deals it back with such a violence and he's so fucking mean when he wants to. It's so good.
And we talked about that a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago when we talked
Mm-hmm.
about the Greg Valentine and Tito Santana match, and I compared Tito Santana to Elio Del Santo because it is the same thing. I love a babyface who he's not going to punch first,
But he's
Oh,
not
but
gonna
if you
he's
start
Don't
not gonna
trying
push him
to
sit there
work
and
around.
take
him,
it.
Yeah.
yeah, you're going to get it, man. You're
he's
going
gonna
to get
Yeah,
some violence.
equalize. He's gonna
dude.
equalize every time, dude. He's
There
like justice.
Yeah, it's
there are
Bruno
points where he
style, and
does
I
do
love that
like
kind of babyface.
there are points where he does do some things where I'm like, damn, that's a little wrong. Like you shouldn't be doing that as like as the technico here. But I mean, you gotta like you said, you gotta give it back. Um,
Yeah, you can't just take it. That's what the people want, man. That's part of the
dude,
game. That's part of the art.
this finish too. Like Felino hits a low blow, pins him, gets the 3. And dude, I swear to God, there's a little kid that gets in the ring that is so ready to beat Felino's
The
ass.
whole crowd comes in there. That
Dude,
kid
I
tries
know, but
to help Santito
the
up, and he has to like push him away because he's like, "Who the
the
fuck?"
the little kid is there like first. He is like
Yeah.
immediately in the ring. Like he no clips into the ring.
And our
Dude,
matches don't have a lot in common, but there's connecting thread between all of them and little things that repeat in all of them. And the kids rushing the ring is something that will come
mhm.
up again later too.
Yeah, that'll come up a little bit later. That's in
What does that
our
tell you
final
about the
match.
level of commitment and
Dude, yeah, this is real. Like these guys are, and I think that's the important part too. When you watch something like this, and like I feel like you feel it here almost maybe more than like any of the other like of the other 3 of the 4 we're gonna talk about, where like this feels the most, I think, like a true proper what a wrestling match should be.
yeah, this is a big title fight
Like if
between two legends.
if you tell me we're gonna go see wrestling, this I feel like this is what it necessarily should be. That's not to say that the crazy brawls and all the fun shit that we're gonna talk about here in a few minutes isn't fun, but this is like the idea. This is the core. This is what at its base the best wrestling should be.
Well, it's why Lucha is the best form because they've perfected every style.
And it's as
Uh-huh.
pure as it can be.
And this is the perfect version of the
Yeah.
like
Nin-
the El Dundee
1998
Black
Santito.
Warrior title match, right? This is what it is. And it's a thing of beauty.
And I think that's the thing too, is like, sometimes I watch matches and I'm like, oh, I've seen stuff like that before. I watched this match and there's stuff I have never seen before and will likely never see again in this match unless I watch probably more Santito and Felino matches.
Because
Um,
they're just letting it rip, man. They're just improvising on the mat, and it's nothing. Like I
yeah,
said, nothing is given. It's not like I'm
no,
gonna stick my arm out so you can, roll
yeah,
it. No, it's just all organic.
I think you see that the most too in like when he tries to get the surfboard in, right? Like he's
Mm.
trying to do the slaps of the sides and everything, and Felino's just like, nope, I'm staying tight. I'm staying tight. You're not gonna get it. Like,
Yeah, and there's a couple of times he tries to get the light of caballo and can't get it.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
and
saying. When the struggle's perfect, he fights out of that because he knows that'll beat me.
mm-hmm.
And
It
now
kind
this
of kills
finish,
me.
right? So he did not. Felino did not win the belt on this night, right? This was one of those things where it was like reversed later
Mm-hmm.
because this is not an official title change, right?
Yes.
I think this one. I think we might have the dates because this is. What did you say
Fuck it.
earlier, Brady? Did you say this
Oh,
was
the
10,
dates.
18?
10, 18,
Uh,
98. And
I
that,
yeah,
think.
that's the date
I
that's
think that
listed.
comes from the DVR yearbooks because this is the
Mm-hmm.
jet lag upload, and you see 4 seconds of
Yeah.
Inryu and Koshinaka versus Muto and Tenzan
Yeah,
before
you
it
see some
starts. And
see
those
some
dates are
NWO
not,
shirts.
yeah, those dates are not super reliable at that point.
Yeah, and like also because some it all depends on what they base it off of. Like this could be based off of like air date and not match date, and then if
Yeah.
you go to
Right.
like Lucha database or even Cage Match, they may go off of like match date or it's uh we
I
were kind of talking
think
about
if you
this.
look at this one specifically on Lucha Database, it says no contest. So I think it was like a dusty finish type situation where,
I think it says that on Cage Match as well.
yeah, because as
Uh,
far as we know, when the file ends, Felino has won the belt.
yeah,
I think
Felino
this is
wins.
3/8. I think this is March 8th.
Okay,
It's-
so
Mhm.
this is
I
a
mean,
Felino title win.
Yeah, yeah. This is the Felino. Does he win or is it defense?
I
I
believe either of you. I
I
don't. I
think
Oh
mean,
no, he
they
does win.
announced Felino as the challenger before the match starts. But I mean, I might be going
I
off that 10-18 thing, but halfway paying attention, I think they say he's the challenger to start. I don't know a whole lot of Spanish, but I know the challenger and champion words.
Hey, you know what? Foos listening to commentary is what threw us for a loop later in this episode. So that's
No,
like
I was already going Charlie Day on that match.
I mean, granted, I will say the audio on this specific recording is like super low. Like it is like if I hadn't been listening to the Cardinals game while I was watching this match, I probably wouldn't have like heard anything for the most of it.
Yeah, but anything we have from Monterey is a gift and a blessing and a
Absolutely.
boon.
It looks really good too, honestly.
It
Like,
really
Yeah, no,
does.
I mean
There's
that.
only a little bit of like tracking and stuff, and that's all in the third fall.
Yeah, it's
And
like towards the
honestly, it
very
kind of
end.
adds to it.
yeah.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
can say,
like
regardless of when it is, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's so good.
yeah,
Incredible
just go.
match
I
between
mean,
two unbelievable wrestlers.
we'll post a link so you don't have to dig too far, but I mean, hell, uh,
I
just
seem
go
like
watch
Green Felino.
just go watch every Felino and Santito match. You'll just enjoy yourself, I guess.
Yeah, they're probably all this good or better.
Yeah,
There's
I'd assume so.
there's a playlist someone made on YouTube with all the Santito
Oh hell,
Felino.
look at that.
That's probably
Yeah,
Corvo.
yeah,
Corvo
it
makes
was
every
Corvo.
playlist. Yeah, he makes every playlist.
Corvo, the
Shout out
greatest
Corvo.
robot in history.
Um, I was gonna say there's two other singles matches on YouTube. They're both. I think they're both in Arena Mexico, but like they're both like they both have really interesting finishes. That one I really really like, and the other one I also like. But there's one that I was just like, oh, this
That's a
family
good.
is some scallywags.
Speaking of family, speaking of sons, Gonna move on to my match of the week. It is Hijo de Paraguayo versus L.A. Park from CMLL 12/7/2007.
Negro
Um,
Casas is there at ringside, so he's still the
yeah, yeah.
favorite. He's still the favorite.
Speak of
Yeah,
through
he's
lines
like
here.
Daniel Makabe on the guard
Yeah,
line.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
To
He's
speak of
everywhere.
through lines, I think that it really is a good like point of this episode. So you have Felino, who is Negro Casas' brother, and then I'm not well versed in 2007 CMLL. Is there a reason why Negro Casas is seconding L.A. Park?
He was feuding with Perito, wasn't he?
I
Yeah.
was gonna say, is it because of Paris Damal or
I don't remember how long ago it was, but yeah, like Negro Casas was like one of the major Paraguayo feuds. Like
This isn't long before Aguayo Jr. goes to AAA, so I think that
which?
almost has to be it.
I mean, granted, I mean Paris Damal is in full force here as his second.
Oh,
I
the
say as his
crowd is
second.
so hot, and it's like
Dude,
Yeah.
low levels of like. It opens with somebody holding the Paraguay Junior like wrestling buddy thing. I
hmm
Yeah.
want one so bad, dude.
dude, I was watching it with some
He's so
friends,
cool. They're
He
and
so
watches me while I smoke.
I was like, do you hear how they're screaming Pero? And he goes, yeah, and I go, yeah, he's the heel here, and
But
they
you know
go,
what? He
what,
fucking turns that in the first fall. That's how good he was.
dude?
Because by the time we get to like the first fall, they're booing his ass.
Oh
Booing
yeah,
his ass.
Yeah, unbelievable, man. And like him and his father. I got to do
hmm
my little anti-Dave thing for the week. The narrative on those guys is for both of them, and we'll talk about both of them. Is charismatic, but not like great in-ring workers. Being charismatic is part of being a great in-ring worker. And he
I
flips that crowd in the first fall masterfully.
I am
I
so
think,
glad you said that. I am so glad you said that because you like the amount, even like people who are not Dave. I've seen that narrative on Perrito Aguayo too.
It's crazy.
That
Oh, he was fine, but he's like it's all charisma. Bullshit, man.
that's like
yeah,
90%. Like he was getting like you can be a super worker, right? And you can't if you can't get anybody to buy in, what does it matter? Burrito's out here getting people to buy in on like standard
I
moves, you know?
Yeah,
I
this
Like
think the
crowd
thing
is
is too, like
hot as a firecracker.
he's a brawler. He's mostly a base, depending on who he's facing. Like,
He's a nasty
and
motherfucker with his
that is not
offense.
like you're
Dude, his
not
punches in this first fall,
Oh my god. You're
Yeah.
holy hell, dude.
but you're not like the
And I know he
problem I
gets
think
that
is
honest, but
Mm-hmm.
God,
you're not the shine guy, right? Like if you are that guy, if you are the brawler, if you like you're not the shine guy, you're the heat guy.
Yeah,
That
you
is
don't
your
get the spot.
job.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, of course when you put him like obviously like put him opposite against a guy like Mystico, Mystico is going to come out looking better because that's the point.
that's people watching through the lens of PWG 50/50. Like the goal of this shit is to have a good match, which it's not.
No.
The
The
goal of this
point
shit
is
is
to
not
get
to have a
Mystico
great
over.
match.
Like it's either to get Mystico over, or in this case, like get the heat on Perostomal, like
Pissed
whatever.
off, yeah, 20,000 people in Arena
In a
Mexico, kid.
packed arena, Mexico, exactly, dude. So
Because he's got
yeah,
old ladies and kids cheering for him when the bell rings, and then by the
yes,
time he
hmm
hits that double stomp and rips the mask, they hate his ass.
he's got
dude.
grown men in Perros and Mal aprons, bro. Like
That's
he's
wild.
got these
Yo,
people. He's got them.
while
Like
while we're talking about crazy ass people in the like in the fans, at one point they cut to a guy who is wearing, I guess, in like a LA Park, like I don't know if it's like a hoodie or a jacket or something, but it's like the design of like his gear, and then he has like the LA Park mask in his hand. I'm like, oh my god, that
I
dude
love
is
this
like
guy. I tweeted this
the
guy.
the coolest looking dude ever, bro.
He was ready.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I mean, I don't. I love to know the context, but it's hard on some of these, especially from this time period. Are these
yeah.
both Rudos? when we start, because it's definitely the structure of the matches. Because when we start, they're both getting cheered, but they
But
but but Paraguay Jr. wrestles like the Rudo.
Yeah.
yeah, and like I don't know. To me, right? Like I always kind of think of LA Park as like
It's
kind
hard
of
to know
just
with
like
him too, because I'm sure he was like in and out during this
well, like
period.
he also is like just one of the most energetic and like fun to watch guys ever too.
Mhm.
Oh,
Like
dude, when he hits the punches and the tilt-a-whirl and the little dance, like 30 seconds
dude,
in,
yeah,
I'm like
yeah,
hooping
he
and
like
hollering on my
he
couch. Yeah.
hits he hits the fucking the tilt-a-whirl backbreaker and then like does the little dance and I'm like yeah exactly I'm like oh
And
yeah
this is like the
LA
perfect
Park
version of Park.
LA
Like
Park
he's fat, but he's not too fat.
he's not too fat
Yeah.
yeah
He's
he's
yeah.
like he can still move he's still got all his good shit which he I mean he hits
Oh, he had some
but
awesome stuff. Yeah.
dude yeah Perito is like his punches are crazy
Yeah,
every time
that's
like
what the note I made was crazy great Perito punches. Because like
um
they had me like again, yeah, sitting up. And it's later, I think it's uh right after the first fall, he hits like a spinning back fist that's like Aja Kong mode. But the camera is way zoomed out, so it's hard to see.
Oh yeah.
But God, he kills him with it.
Yeah, some of this like mid 2000s CMLL Arena Mexico camera work, like they're just trying to like make you feel the atmosphere, you know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
gotta
like
find those hot
they
ladies
miss
in the
some good
crowd too.
shit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Look, I'd rather
Find the
see.
random.
I like it though. I like it so much because these like the people in these crowds. There's like people with like Bettles and Mod t-shirts on and stuff like that, right? Like there's some people
Mhm.
wearing the t-shirts and stuff. But like if you look at the crowd, you look at the composition, like who all's in there, it's like everybody, like people from every walk of life, right? Like
It's beautiful. Yeah, it's truly beautiful to see. It's as good
old,
as it
Yeah.
gets. All of
exactly,
this
old
is as
ladies.
good as it gets.
I feel like every Roy Lucier CMLL like thumbnail is always just a random person in the crowd. Like every single time I see a video, I'm like I see the thumbnail and I go, "Oh, who's in this match?" And then you read the name. And like this is not I think it was uploaded by like Retro Lucha or something like that. Um
Yeah, I think that's what it is because we had to chase down the date,
yeah,
and we
'cause they
talked
don't
about that
list the
last week.
date.
Like there is a level of like, yeah, the barrier to entry can be high if you like want to know all the context, but it's also extremely not high. Just type these guys' names into YouTube.
Yeah, I'm pretty I mean, I found this
Lucha's like the
match.
only style where you can do that. You can look up a guy's name, and there's probably no joke, hundreds upon hundreds of matches with them, and they're
Uh,
most likely all good.
Yeah, you're gonna
honest to
click on
God,
something that has like 200 views, and it's gonna be
Yeah.
super heat.
I probably typed in Paraguay Junior CMLL. That's probably like all I typed. And then
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
I saw and like I saw a singles match and I went, "Oh, that's got to be cool." Like and
Yes,
so I clicked
like
on it and then and it rules, you know? Like
this type of lucha match, like singles lucha match, is the perfect like. It's breezy, it's fun. You look it up, you can find it easy. You know what I mean? You don't need a lot of context. It's just like the perfect type of comfort watch. You could look this
And
up and
it's
show it.
logical. There's that stupid
Yeah.
bullshit. Again, eat a dick, Dave Meltzer.
Hmm.
No psychology. Bullshit. This is very simple to understand.
yeah.
It plays out in
Like
a logical way, and
Perito gets on
it's
top early.
extremely satisfying.
I think
Burrito
LA
gets on
Park
top
had to have
early with
been.
some cheating.
I think he was mostly technical here.
He's
Yeah.
he's working that way for sure.
Yeah. And also I say that because like one of the first things that happens is Hector Garza gets involved, right? He trips up LA
He
Park really
trips him.
early. And
And we
just
get
from
the
Yeah.
then you know what's
callback
up, you
later.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
And that's
callback
when they
later
start to
is
turn
so
the
cool.
crowd. He trips them. They get the trio woe. They get the mask rip.
Hmm.
We get the double
He
stomp. And at that point, it goes from being like 50-50
oh,
to like,
dude, he plants
this is
that
the
fucking
park
double
crowd.
stomp too.
Well, he gets
He
that from his
like
daddy.
dude, it looks so good. He just like wow, and like
Yeah,
I
he
think that's
does.
an
And he gets the second fall Rudo beatdown. shit from his daddy too. I will say the wrapping the T-shirt around the fist is very funny to me.
It's fucking
That
great.
that seems like it would be less impactful,
Yeah.
but it also makes him look like a big dickhead. So
Yeah.
I
He
think I was gonna say
go
my
ahead,
favorite
Foos.
part of this whole match is in that second fall. Um, after Perrito kind of like he's been dominating, kind of in control most of the time. Where Ella Park reverses that Irish whip into the tilt-a-whirl, and then Perrito's on his knees, and Ella Park stands up and just starts windmill punching
Wailing
him.
on him.
dude,
Yeah,
his
so
comeback
good.
is just a punch
Dude,
beat down. Like
yeah.
his
Like
comeback is just I'm gonna punch you like 48 times.
He also hits the best lariat I've ever seen in this match.
Yeah, and then we get the
Out of the
beautiful little
corner.
little callback to the Hector Garza trip where he tries it again and he misses it,
yeah, he like
and Park
yeah,
sidesteps it, and then
Park
he hits that
jumps.
huge tope,
Yes.
Dude,
smokes
Oh
both
my
of them.
god.
that's and to call back to the comment that I left on that Foos video from like 2 years ago or whatever, or a year ago. It like the comment I made was, I love that when LA Park dives, it looks like he's just throwing his body at you with full reckless abandon.
He is, man. Shout out
Because
to LA
he's
Because
Park.
fat. It's awesome.
right, well that's the thing, right? Like some guys when they dive, they're like, it looks like they're diving to like float onto the guy
Uh-huh.
almost. LA Park almost
Dives
never
through
does
you,
that. He
basically.
is just
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
trying to hit you with his body and you are the one who has to catch him.
That's a
Yeah,
Like
and
you
good
he
don't
way to
get a
takes
describe.
he
choice.
takes both of them out, and it doesn't look like
Dude,
they're
he
like,
takes
oh, we got us both of us. He smokes
no,
both of them.
he takes both of them into the front row. Like they're they become fans for a minute.
Super
Like
This
Callow
is
style.
the most
yeah.
beautiful era of CMLL when they didn't have those damn barricades up.
Ugh.
I love it.
I
Yeah.
I do love it too.
It's
Yeah.
a
Then
perfect
when
look.
they
And
can
it
go
like
into
it
the
makes you like
crowd.
stand up every time they go outside. It's like, oh, they're
Hmm.
right there on top of these people.
Yeah, like
We
it
get the
makes
beer
it
to the face.
feel.
Dom sent me a funny message about the beer to the face.
Yeah,
Which
bro.
one?
I was thinking if your luchador mask gets wet, that's got to feel like akin to waterboarding.
Cannot be pleasant.
Which one to the face? Well, because like he goes on the ramp in the first
Well, the
fall and
first one
like
I was thinking that's got to suck, and then the second one I was thinking he's definitely got to be drowning right now. What the fuck's going on?
Yeah, he
well
had
yeah,
some of the
because like
full beer, and that person he stole it from, there was like 6 cups in that stack. They were 6 cervezas deep. Shout out.
they were
Look, that's how you got to be when you're down there. You get
when
that.
you're front row in Arena
Front row in
Mexico.
Arena Mexico, dude, I'd be showing my ass big
How
time.
much is how much is a front row ticket at Arena Mexico?
Not that much. Like, when I went in 2019, and I wasn't able to get front row because like I walked up. I'm sure if I had like
Bought one
bought online,
beforehand.
but
Yeah.
I was like corner front row, if that makes sense. Like there's these little sections
Yeah,
that
yeah,
are
yeah,
like
yeah.
a little offset in between like the four sides. There's like little ones like in the
Mm-hmm.
corners, and I was
Yeah,
in
like
like the
angled
front row
ones.
of those sections, and it was like $28, I think.
Oh, dude,
So
that's not bad at all. So it's probably like what? I'd say probably
Fantastic.
like 30,
30,
40 for
40,
front
yeah,
row. Yeah,
can't be that much.
I paid $25 to go sit front row at St. Louis Anarchy the other night. So that's nothing like to sit front row at Arena Mexico. Oh, dude, you're probably like if you're sitting up in the nosebleeds, you're probably paying like $5. That's gotta
Yeah,
be like,
Awesome.
no wonder the tourist business is so good. That's like probably the cheapest thing you can do in Mexico City.
And
honestly, a lot of people
it's
probably
got
get
like a pretty high hit rate too. Like you're gonna get a good show
Yeah,
if you go to the
yeah.
Friday night.
I mean,
dude.
I think Rob Viper for a while he was always posting like he would be on the location for Arena Mexico on Instagram because like when you post with the location like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it'll
It
show
like
all these
pops
people's
up.
posts who've been there, and like 90% of them were like tourists being like, this was the coolest thing I've seen on my entire trip, like this is like
Dude,
we
can you
got to see
Yeah.
real
imagine being
lucha
there
libre.
Friday night and seeing that fucking Galleon Fantasma Sky Team match?
God
Like
almighty.
cold, not having seen Lucha before? Jesus Christ.
Dude, just walk in on a Friday and like or like just tourist style and like you show up to the H2L card, you don't even know like it's like one of the biggest shows of the year. Dude, could you imagine? It's like, oh, okay, oh, they're having a mask versus mask match tonight. Oh, that's crazy. Like, dude, That's gotta be insane.
But this park match here, this is from December, right? That's what we narrowed it down to. And the main
Yeah.
was a tag team. This sounds so fire. Yudo, Lizmark, and Shocker versus Black Warrior and Rey Bucanero
That's probably on
air
YouTube.
match. Is December? Is this like a big card, or is this just like your standard Friday night?
It's just your.
I actually do think it is. Hold up, I had it. I was
Yeah, I've
looking
got
at
the
it
card
earlier.
pulled up. The whole card looks crazy. Because right before this is Blue Panther, Mystico, Negro Casas against Atlantis, Inferno, and Ultimo Guerrero.
Damn, Negro
So that
Casas out
top
here doing
three is
double duty.
crazy heat. What is December in CMLL?
Let me see. Let me
It
see.
might just be
I
a
mean,
fire ass Friday card from this
maybe
era.
they're
Because
yeah.
this
I mean,
era
they.
is like me and Dom were talking about that too, man. You throw in like a early aughts
I
CMLL
mean, this is
match.
mid. We're in 07
Oh
here.
yeah, I guess we're late aughts.
Yeah.
But we get
You
that.
were
We
you were
get
probably
that
out of
second
college.
fall. Parka comes back with the huge punches, goes crazy, hits the crazy twisting plancha. I mean, we come back, and also very funny. And the peak funniness of it is on the leg spot, which I think this is probably why you
Oh my
picked this
God.
match,
This
Brady.
is
Oh,
yeah. It's absolutely why I
We
That
picked this
keep
leg
match.
getting that
spot.
ad
Oof.
for the "Learn to be a great lover" phone
yes.
number.
Oh my
It keeps
god.
popping up over and over and over.
I don't know who they
And the
had a
best part
sponsorship
is
deal
when
with.
Park is trying to break. He's like literally trying to break
Dude,
Quiet Junior's leg,
he
and this
does.
ad pops up for "Learn to be a great lover." Call this phone number.
So like if you've ever seen Arena Mexico, you know that like they have the little like kind of guardrails on the sides of the ramp, so that way guys don't fall off. People can't just like sit on there or nothing. You know, like
This is when they had that
it's.
plexiglass though, and there's a lot of gnarly ass plexiglass spots from this era.
And
Mhm.
so he does this like vertical, like he does a vertical suplex, but he's trying to get as close to the edge as possible because he wants to wrap Perito's knee around it. And dude,
He
like
does it.
when he initially like when he first does it, it doesn't look as bad. But then they show it to you like three more times in slow motion, and with each cut of slow motion, it looks worse and worse. Like it's insane. He just gets like it just gets bent around. There like I think it actually bends. At least that's the way it looks. Maybe it doesn't actually, and that's just like the his kick pads playing tricks on us. But it looks like his like
Leg
the
wraps the
bones
fuck
in
around.
his bend like in his leg bend. And from that point on, he is like selling his leg basically the whole time.
He's
There are a
great.
couple points.
Great.
There are a couple points where like he starts running and like he starts to run and he's like, "Oh fuck." And then like can't. Um he does that big like kind of like seated senton off the apron
The
and
ass drop, yeah.
yeah, and he lands like let that leg first and just like immediately just like grabs it and is just like yelling in pain. Like you can hear it audibly through the microphones. He's
Mhm.
like yelling. Um he and then like they get back in the ring and as soon as like it looks like LA Park like can might be able to get something, it like is as soon as like Peristalmal gets in and they just start beating down Park and then the match gets thrown out, which is like it's like so smart because then you protect LA Park,
Well,
and
yeah.
you like
Yeah, he ain't
and you,
coming in to do no damn job. No.
yeah
Come on now.
you keep Hadito hot and Peristalmal hot,
They ripped the
and then
fucking suit off his fat ass. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
yeah they rip
Yeah,
the
you saw
whole
cheek.
fucking part of him off. Then Negro Casas comes in and like or like
They beat
before
his
that Negro
ass too.
Casas comes in, they beat Negro Casas's ass, dude. They are like they're on one.
It's really
Um,
funny too. Like I was trying to find the date of this match before I just gave up and went to Lucha Database, which I should have done to begin with. But I was scrolling through the comments, and half the comments are, "What's the name of the ring girl?" Which I didn't even know.
which
I didn't even
which
notice. You know, I didn't even
which
notice. The ring
one?
girl. But the half
Which
the other
fall? The
comments
second or third?
were like Park would have beat his ass if Peros Del Mal weren't there.
They're all just in kayfabe. They're just like, oh yeah, he would have got him.
So good.
That's beast, dude. Yeah, this match was fucking amazing. Honestly, like obviously I love it because I picked it. You know what I mean? But I think it does everything like really well. It's not long. None of the falls feel like they overstay its welcome for like the
It's a great
finish that
brawl
you get.
between two great wrestlers, and I'm glad we get to talk about both of these
Uh-huh.
guys.
Mm-hmm.
Very
This
much.
was
Yeah,
I think the name of this event was Sin Piedad. It was
Okay, so it
I
was
don't know if
not
it was
just
like
a standard Friday
yeah.
night because the card was crazy.
Yeah, it's like, but I don't understand. What I don't know is like, I've seen other Sin Piedades, but like, I think it's just around this time of the year.
just like
Because
a special
I think
like
now,
a
maybe
special
last
show.
year they did Sin Piedad, and it was the minis cage.
That's right. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, but this
So
must
it's
have been
still
done
in
like a year.
Apuestas, but not on the
Yeah.
level of what this one was.
Hmm.
um, to keep going with our little through line here, Dom's pick of the week. It is Rambo, Negro Casas, and Dr. Wagner Jr. versus Gran Hamada, Silver King, and El Tejano from UWA is what we think
R.I.P.
it is.
Yep.
223.92.
We think.
We
Yeah.
think this is the match that has fucked us up date wise so bad. Like we have like the next match that is always picked. We don't even have an actual month day. We just know the year, and
Maybe.
somehow this match fucked us up more. So
I think it's 223 though, just based on Lucha DB, because if you click on the 216, you get three links, right? The YouTube links. Shout out Cubs, obviously, for being the greatest to ever do it. But two of the three links are match this same trios match, except instead of Rambo, you get Tigre Canadiense, right? So, and then if you look at the next week, uh, all those YouTube links link to this. And I think
and
Foos figured out too, right? Like, because they say on the commentary, this is a rematch,
Yeah,
which
because
is
they do say
crazy
this is
because it's the Rambo is the different guy. But you look at these names: Negro Casas, Dr. Wagner Jr., right? Los Cowboys, Gran Hamada. Who is the star of this match? It's fucking Rambo.
dude, I love
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I've watched the two Rambo and Viano Tercero like Apuestas matches. Dude, those are so like I love Rambo
He's
He's
because
awesome.
he's
so fun to watch.
What'd you
like
call him?
He's like the UWA Mexico Sergeant Slaughter. He like knows when
Yeah.
to bump and stooge and all
dude,
that.
he is that is very accurate. Like I something about it is like him being Rambo is such a like only in lucha libre gimmick too.
yeah.
Like nowhere else is somebody gonna be like full military like style gear, call themselves Rambo except for in Mexico. Like that it happens nowhere else.
He still shows up, not as a wrestler, but he's on the Lucha Commission, so he'll show up on CMLL shows.
That's
That's funny as
tough.
fuck.
He puts the belts on guys, and like he'll come out for like the pre title match.
Yeah,
It'll be him,
like the
Fantasma.
picture.
Yeah, it'll be him, Fantasma, or Villano Cuarto. Most
Dude,
of
Me,
the
me
time.
and Foos, me and Foos are some of the biggest Los Cowboys fans ever.
Out there.
Look,
They're
This
so much
match is
fun.
so good and
Uh-huh.
so fun because it's
so
like it's stiff, it's exciting, but there's so much bullshit. Like, and
yeah,
I mean that
Passionately,
affectionately. Like
yeah.
this is the shit that I love. The heel stooging in this is out of
Dude,
this world. Even Casas gets in on
there's
this.
a
on
there's a
this
great
shit.
there's such a great moment with Casas that we'll get to,
Yeah.
but dude, so the Los
Or
Cowboys
filing to
fucked
fire
the Los
Casas.
Cowboys fucked me up at the beginning because like you never like at certain points like you don't really get a good shot, and so like I'm like,
You can mix them
okay,
up.
Yeah.
they're both in blue tights.
Silver
They're
King got
like
them big ass titties.
but
Yeah.
like if you look at them from behind, they're kind of similarly built,
All
and so
I know to differentiate them, Brady, is that Texano, he's a little stocky motherfucker,
he's shorter,
and
yeah.
he punches good.
He's a little meaner. Yeah, he's a little
Yeah,
meaner.
he's got
He's
the
a little
best goddamn
shorter,
punches.
and like Silver King's hair kind of stays out of his face more. Is the way that I like kind of figured it out. Like I was like, okay, that's how I like later differentiated it.
Another
But like
brother of a all-timer who is fucking incredible, but doesn't get the credit he deserves because of who his brother is. Silver
Silver
King.
King is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's so good. Like, Dom, you're talking about Los Cowboys. These guys
Yes,
are
yes.
unbelievable. And honestly,
They are one of my favorite tag teams ever. They're just so charismatic.
they have a match, I think, in WCW with God, Freebirds. I think it's Michael Hayes and who's the other guy? Garvin, I think.
Ronnie
At
Garvin,
that point, yeah, it probably is Jimmy Garvin.
Yeah,
Jimmy
and
Garvin.
Jimmy
damn,
Garvin.
Trial
And
Under Fire legend Ronnie Garvin.
no bullshit, no bullshit. Los Cowboys carry that match, and it's so clear that I guess whatever iteration of the Freebirds this is, don't
Is
got it no
not,
more.
yeah.
They don't got it no more. Because like
Yeah, those are the cocaine days, I
they
believe.
look like
By the
shit,
time the
yeah.
luchadors get there, yeah.
But
We're a
like
couple of cocaine suspensions in for Michael
Oh
Hayes.
fuck no.
it makes me think like
Suspensions
God,
is
like
crazy.
if they had put them in there with like a really like, which I guess it is at that time. Maybe it was a lot harder to just bring in guys and slot them in because maybe guys were more specialized as to what they could do. But
Mhm.
They
if
also
they could,
had what 12 hours of TV to fill,
yeah,
but it
Yeah.
just shows you how great these guys are because like Silver King, Dondi, it's like they're having great matches with everybody on the WCW roster all the time.
yeah,
They
God,
have a great match here. Before we get too deep, what is the guy with the mask that Aubie described as a gimp mask?
bro, that's Excalibur. He's the brother of somebody important, and I don't remember who it is. But it's somebody really
Big
important.
Brother
He's their
episode.
brother, and he was a wrestler, but he didn't really catch. I think he didn't really catch on as a wrestler. And when they put UWA on TV, um, he was like one of like the commentary guys, and he was like one of like the hosts for like the TV part of the show and stuff.
What's his
It is
name?
Excalibur?
Not
Is that
Excalibur,
what
not
you said?
Excalibur, Alcatraz,
I was gonna say what the.
not
I was about
Excalibur,
to say.
not Excalibur,
Fuck.
Alcatraz.
And they got Excalibur in here doing racisms
No,
on
Dude, oh
UWA.
no.
wait. I got the names
he,
mixed up there.
he probably was like a little kid in '92.
Yeah, yeah.
He was doing
Alcatraz.
backyard shit.
I don't even know if he was doing
92.
backyard shit. He was probably like probably didn't even know what wrestling was yet, dog. He was like,
Okay. Foos. According to Lucha Wiki, he was always pictured with stars thanks to his brother starting his own Lucha Libre magazine,
Yeah, that's what it was.
Benjamin Mora.
Yeah. God. I was
When
gonna
they
say
cut to him,
too.
he looked
Oh,
like a
he was
damn
the
pimp.
promoter of the WWA. Okay, we just watched WWA stuff. It seems
Watching
with
this though makes me so sad that UWA died the way it
yeah.
did.
oh,
What a perfect match.
Yes.
this dude, this match starts and it is insane. Like I could write notes for this, but there's so much that happens, and like you
Well,
can
first
never
thing
get a.
you get is the Gran Hamada backdrop spot.
Well, actually, the
It's like,
first thing you get is the award ceremony thing that
oh
Foos
yeah, well
clipped for
yeah,
his
just
They
like
are. They have
80K or
so much
whatever.
swag,
beautiful.
all of them.
Yeah, but yeah, you get in and like yeah, Hamada hits that backdrop, and
Hamada has so much swag. He's so cool.
That shit is spectacular every time, where they go for the backdrop on him and he like twists
Lands
in
on
the
his
air and
feet.
lands on his feet and hits the drop kick.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's on the level of Santos spot. Is like, oof.
And it's like
oof.
this. A lot of this match is like him and Negro Casas like super cooking, while everybody else just like does the most
Stooges.
Funny
beautiful
stuff.
stooging. And Casas stooges too, yeah. But like it's so good.
Yeah, but it's like whenever those two are in the ring, that's when you know they're gonna stooge.
They fucking wail on each other too. There's some
Oh yeah.
sick punches from both of them at various points. Again, while everybody else around them is just kind of. I don't want to say goofing off because that sounds
They're
derogatory.
not,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, no. And we talked
Like
about this the other day, like talking about comedy matches. This is how you do a comedy match where like the Rudos are stooging and they're the butt of the joke. It's not me.
mhm.
I'm not the butt of the joke for watching you do this shit.
You watch
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of like, I think like you said, like Rambo is like the best of the
He does some
stoogers here.
crazy funny bumps off punches.
He's a very good punching bag for people like Texano who
I
have
was
the
gonna
best
say-
punches.
Who punches him to hell? What's the one where he just like starches him with the right hand and he kind
He
of
goes for the
yeah,
handshake,
the
yeah, he
handshake,
takes-
and then he
yeah.
starches him.
and he just falls like a redwood.
He
Dude,
does that twice in this match, and it's funny both times.
could you imagine falling that flat too on these hard ass rings,
And his
like
big fat ass, that's gotta suck.
with no give, dude? Like, oh,
There's
like,
in that second fall, there's this part where Negro Casas is like on the apron and Silver King is trying to like ram his head into the post, and Negro Casas is like resisting so hard, like he'll like try and push him, and Negro Casas like he'll pull back, and Silver King will just like wail on him, and he'll do it again, and he'll wail on him again, and he finally gets him, like he finally rams his head in that post, and it is so good because it's like he doesn't just give it to him to like get that whole thing over. It's like no, he works on it, and finally when he hits it, it
And
popped
it's a
me
big turning
crazy.
point because they post a couple of those guys in that moment, and that's like the turning
Mhm.
point of that second fall is when they post the Rudos like big time.
yeah.
Oh,
So
good.
like the
And
Rudos
then
are
they
the
get
ones who get the
they get
first
all these
fall.
damn contraptions, all these crazy ass fucking like multi-man pinfalls and goofy oh it's
Dude,
so good.
oh my god, the like way they get that second fall of like Rambo. So they
Yeah.
like they get Casas up on Rambo's shoulders, and then like they make him basically like roll back down and like pin Rambo, and they just hold Casas like onto
Yeah,
Rambo.
I love that spot. They
Yeah,
Dude,
they get the
it's so
damn
fun.
contraption, and it's so effective that Casas tries to join the tag
Dude,
team.
Yes.
no, that's not when he
It's
tries to
so
join.
funny.
When he tries to join is after, so like they get Rambo like up on the top turnbuckle, and they like I don't remember, is
They're
it
trying to push him out of the ring. Yeah, they're trying to push him out of the ring.
yeah,
And
Hamada like tries
Rambo,
to push him off the top turnbuckle, and he grabs Negro Casas by the head, like in his
yes.
hair, to like hold
And
on.
he's tugging on him, yeah. So he goes to try
Yeah,
to join the technical
yeah,
team. And then he
dude,
gets his shit rocked, and he tries to tag in a Technico,
him
and he gets
him
smoked
he
again.
he like goes over there and he's like, screw this, I want to join your team,
Yeah,
and like
I like to win them to get him back. Rambo gives him a little kissy, gives him a little
Yes.
kiss on the cheek. It's
yeah.
awesome.
Dude, it is so funny. Like he gets over, like, and he gets when he gets over there, like just like goes and just like stands on the apron like he's a part of the team, and they just so like Los Cowboys
They're into it.
and Hamada are just like, fuck it, why
They're like,
not,
yeah, why not? They're
And
cool
then
with
not,
it.
not long after that, we get the spot where Rambo goes down like a redwood again, and they
Yeah.
start counting his ass down, even though nobody's pinning him.
No
'cause his
one's pinning him.
shoulders are flat. Yeah.
Dude, that shit was so funny to me.
Getting
Like
on
I
his
was like,
knees, like grabbing his nuts. Oh my god, that shit is so funny.
Everybody
dude,
just looks so
We
good.
even
in
get like a
this.
little mini Kobashi Joe spot between Rambo and Sixona where they're doing the chops back and forth.
Uh-huh.
oh yeah, yeah,
Couple
it's
things way ahead of their time here in '92. We get that. We
dude.
get like a Bronco Buster.
Mm-hmm.
Straight
Yeah,
ass to
these
face.
uh Like
Why
at
did
one point, like Tejano like gets Rambo like into the corner, and like he's like up in the corner. I assume like doing like punches or something, but then he like jumps and like does a like moonsault backwards like onto Wagner, who's like charging into him. Stuff like that, so good. Um, what else? Like
Well, we
the
get the whole third fall is just the Rudos like stumble fucking around, except for when they do get on offense, it's stiff as hell.
oh
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Like
which I
they're still
mean,
smoking each other.
when you look at the
And
guys
we get
that
all these crazy dives and planches, and we get like the
hmm
flashy ass like shit on Wagner they do.
God,
Man,
they double team Wagner crazy. Like,
they kill him. Yeah.
yeah, Wagner doesn't really ever get much, I feel like, in this match. Which like I didn't do any research. When does Wagner debut? Like at what point? Like I mean this is 92, and when I think of Wagner I think of like early 2000s stuff, you know?
Like, when did he
yeah, he had
start
been going for a
coming
while.
into
I
his
mean,
own?
Um
because Wagner
okay.
starts, I'm pretty sure he starts like the first place he goes is the first big place he goes is UWA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he
Um,
starts wrestling in 86. So I mean he's already been working for 6 years, but like that's like I say 6 years, but I mean he's not like he
But
wrestled
he's presented as strong here. I mean, when
yeah,
he's like
yeah.
on offense, he looks good, but he also, again, like everybody on his team, he does a bunch of really fun stooging and ridiculous bullshit. But
This is
again,
like
the
mixed in with all that, like it's really stiff and snug, and there's some crazy dives, and everything is logical, and the comedy is actually funny. I loved this match. I was
yeah, cuz
totally
it's
thrilled with
not
the finish.
comedy like it's not comedy for the sake of like haha funny, this is like me trying to do a punchline. It's like it's stooging comedy. And like have you ever seen like the Rambo and Viano Tercero Apuestas that I was talking
Oh,
about? Like either
fantastic
one?
match, yeah.
Yeah, like I mean Rambo is kind of perfect in those two of being like the stooge that just like gets the quick falls but like mostly gets his ass beat, gets bloody as all hell.
Yeah,
Um
like I said, I think he's the star of this match, and I mean, if you just look at the lineup, like he's the least wrestler of all these guys, right? You wouldn't put
yeah.
him above any of these people, but he has an unbelievable performance here. Although I will say the end in the third fall when Gran Hamada and Negro Casas are like cooking with each other is
Oh yeah.
fantastic.
They are like it to me like watching this match I'm like okay naturally this feels like a singles comes out of that with these two, right? Like it doesn't like that feels like such a natural progression plus
Yeah, it's sort of everything is framed. That's
around
framed
them
by everything else. Yeah.
and like
Whatever
at
else
one
kind of crazy bullshit is happening, and I mean that affectionately, all over is it's really the crux of the match is Negro Casas
is
and Gran Hamada.
mhm. And like when they so when they finally like the final time that they get in and face each other there's like a large pop for them being like face to face, like no one else to interfere. Like the crowd is like wants them to wrestle, which I think is really cool. Um,
this is back when I was gonna say this is a little off topic, but this is back when Wagner was still like a little bigger.
Mm-hmm.
hmm
Because like I think he does like slim down a lot in the two
He slims
thousands.
down, but he's still a big fucking
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
barrel-chested
still
man.
yeah.
yeah. Back here, bro, he was still eating. He was still down.
And
He was still eating good. He wasn't
Yeah,
watching.
two
No,
chicken, one
yeah,
asparagus.
no calorie deficit here, gang. Just I'm eating.
The and like I think if there's one thing I would say about a through line for each one of these matches, it's fuck ass finishes.
yeah.
Finishes, true.
because this match has such a fuck ass finish um where so is it Casas gets Hamada in the surfboard but then like he falls back, and so like both of their shoulders are on the mat, and
And
then
I
like
think
Rambo.
they're each respective guy holds them down.
Yeah,
Is
like
what they do.
Rambo and
Yeah.
Silver King both come in and like basically pin. I think it's Silver King. I could be wrong, but um, yeah, they like both pin, and then the ref doesn't really know like who to like what to do, and so
Well, we even
he
get a
like
little bit of that in the first fall. I was a little confused about what happened in the first fall because it
I
feels
mean
like they like 3 people got pinned at various points.
mhm.
Yeah.
But
Like
it's another contraption. There's a lot of like multi-man contraption spots in
mhm.
this that are really fun and great.
Dude, yeah, like they they eventually say like they raise Casas's hand because I guess he's like the only like Rudo in the ring, and then like Tejano and Silver King are both like, wait, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, why does he get to win? And like, and then the file just ends. Like that's it. And I'm just like, oh, okay. I guess the Rudos win.
Well, they beat Rambo's ass after the match for a minute, which is satisfying.
Yeah, they
Cowboys
do.
do. I loved this. Was great. I loved it. I texted or I DM'd Dom while I was watching it. It's hilarious and great and I'm glad we got a trios
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
on our Lucha episode, and this was like a perfect example of why that's like.
Yeah, like
Such a perfect
we
format.
we
Yeah.
all, or like when I say we all, everybody other than Dom, obviously, all went singles. Um, and I think, like you said, it's important that we talk about like
In
a
Lucha, I
good.
feel like singles are just really a lot rarer.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, but
trios are more popular by a lot too. Like,
Yeah.
it's so much easier. Like I feel like it's the easy thing to do, right? Like main event, throw 6 of your best guys out there, and you can change up 1 or 2 each week, and there you can have a good match each
Yeah,
week.
and there's like a realization you come to as a wrestling fan where it's like you see people like New Japan fans bitching about like the Road to shows with multi-man matches and shit like that. And it's like, no, that's like if you do
That's the
that
best.
right,
Yeah,
that's like as fun as it gets. And it
that's how you build the match.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's how you build the match.
exactly.
If you do it right, it's like a beautiful thing.
Like what we were saying here, right? Like if in this case, right, it feels like they're gonna build something with Negro Casas and Grand Hamada, right? So like that feels
Yeah,
like
and
an
even separate
obvious.
of that, like you have all these big personalities interacting
Mm-hmm.
in like a logical and fun way.
Ram, Rambo can get over.
Can do.
Yeah, my good ass is they have a good ass punch exchange. Those two, Grand
Hmm.
Hamada and Negro Casas. They
Is
just.
that when it? Is that when he's all bloodied up? The
I
Gran
think
Hamada's
so.
Yeah,
head.
he
Yeah. They
does
they
come
start
up
punching each
bloody.
other in the
Yeah.
chest. It's fucking awesome. Grand Hamada is
Dude,
so cool. He's so goddamn cool.
Grand Hamada is so cool in this match and also just in
In
general.
general.
Like he
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
is.
I was gonna say another thing in defense of trios matches. One of the best ways you can use them, especially in main events, is like yeah, you can continue feuds, you can start feuds, you can test new feuds. Like
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
if you have 6
Yeah,
guys in there, you can move more than one storyline at a time, right? Like, and to me, that's way better than if you took each of these guys and paired them off one by one, or even like two and two, and then one and one. It's like there's less. You take up more time to do less, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah, and
here,
you can have a like high octane, action packed, exciting match that is also logical,
yeah,
that
because you can
also
always have a
like,
fresh guy.
features the shit you're trying to feature. That's something that has been super lost in American wrestling is like the tag team multi-man
yes,
build to a main event thing. That's like so simple. It's a primo
They
example of
they do
lost
them. I feel
recipe
like they do them, but then
in
they're
American
like
wrestling.
they're never good. Every time they do them, they always like get like they always just feel boring. You know what I mean?
it's because they're too afraid to pull the trigger on anything exciting because they're like, well, we'll save it for the big match, and it's like
Yeah.
you can give people a taste here, like you can give them a better taste without like putting on like something boring that like it's gonna yeah it'll keep the story going or whatever, but like you have to make it exciting too. You have to make people want to come back and see that next match. Like, oh, they did all this in this one. What are they gonna do when it's just the two of them? Like.
Yeah.
Also, just elite
Uh,
ball knowledge on this one, Dom, for picking this one. I love this match.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah,
It's
this
so
was a
good.
blast, man. I didn't know what to
yeah.
expect when I hit play on it, but I was geeking out the whole time.
Yeah, same. Like it is one of those, like, I think like it's the biggest kind of question mark of the matches we watched, right? Like, the three singles, obviously, it's like you look at the names and you're like, okay, this will be a cool match. That one you're like, that's a lot of like names I would not picture together. How will this play out? And it's just like,
Perfect.
yeah, it's crazy fun.
And they
Um,
probably did it the week before on the 216 match. This was misdated as, and they probably did it the week after.
yeah,
Somewhere we'll
probably.
never see again.
they did it without Rambo, and they did it with Tigre Canadiense. And
And then the next week they probably like, I don't know, switched out like Dr. Wagner Jr. or something. Like
Dr.
they
Wagner
put
Jr. and
more.
Silver King have such good opponent chemistry too, as well as tag chemistry. And they're very fun to watch.
yeah,
Yeah.
God,
To move to Aubie's match, we're talking about the senior Perro Aguayo versus Sangre Chicana. This match also from Monterey. This one is we think it's from
This
1992.
is also just one of the best things ever I've ever seen.
yeah.
Dude, this match is 20, like the I shouldn't say this match. This file is 20 minutes. But it starts and like it literally starts with both of them on the cage,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, it
halfway up
starts
the
with Perro
cage already.
Aguayo trying to escape.
So you gotta assume this match is longer, right? Like there's probably like a solid 10 minutes a match we don't
Yeah,
see.
but God, everything we have from this is a blessing because if you go, I mean, of course, these two guys have one of the greatest matches, not just Lucha, full stop. One of the greatest matches ever is their 86 of Puestas. And they have an incredible 92 match from Arena Mexico that we have. But if you go look at Lucha Database, these guys had 6 or 7 singles matches against each other. So anything we
Oof,
have from this is
is like a
is
blessing.
straight from heaven. Because I said it in the group chat earlier. This is like from a different dimension, man. This is
Dude.
like go watch this
So
fucking match,
yeah, just go
please.
watch it, really. Like so first of all, the the camera light, like the lighting in the building, shit. Camera quality, kind of shit.
And again, we think
Uh,
this is from Monterey.
we think it's from Monterey. We think it's from 1992. Um,
And and
Other
and
than
two
that,
guys that if we had more footage of, I
would probably
would
be.
be like canonized.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Mhm.
already think these are two best ever. I've seen enough. I've seen enough of both of these guys to kind of.
Uh-huh.
Oh, like
But
Pedro Aguayo, he was legitimately no bullshit, dead ass, the people's champion. Like,
he's unbelievable.
and
I think it was Elliot compared him to Stan Hansen in terms of how he just keeps coming at you.
That's
But like
yeah.
if you watch him, and I don't know what again, I don't know what the affiliations are here. I think these are two Rudos. If you watch the 92 Arena Mexico match, I think these are two Rudos. But like Pero Aguayo as like the ultimate Rudo just beating ass is unbelievable. As the old man babyface in AAA like early 90s is unbelievable. Just one of the best to ever do it.
he's
And
like
then
a folk
Sangre
hero.
Chicana is right there too, like another guy who I think if we had more footage for would be held up with like the most like deified names in wrestling history.
Uh-huh.
Just an unreal performer. And
I made
what we
the
do have here is as good as it gets. And it's almost all punches and kicks.
Huh.
I made the comment earlier of
The
that
best punches ever too.
It's like a
that like
boxing match, man.
it's hard for me to tell it was hard for me in the beginning to tell the difference between Silver King and El Tejano. This match would be hard to tell the difference if it wasn't for Paraguayo's
Fuzzy
fuzzy ass
boots.
boots.
Yep, love those fuzzy
Yeah,
boots.
it makes him stand out so much, and I kind of love that.
He's a little more of a
Um,
fucker too. He has all like the nut shot cut offs.
dude,
He hurts his
like you said,
hand punching like 2 minutes into the file. He's shaking his hand off because he's punched the shit out of Sangre Chicana.
the punches that they're throwing like are crazy. The ref bumps
And again, yeah, if you haven't seen the '86 match,
me.
it's like a
Okay.
bar fight. It's
Okay.
like this. It's all punches, but every punch is different. Every punch cell is different. It literally feels like you're watching like
Just a bar
Proto
fight,
World
yeah.
Star.
Dude,
They at one point they literally like when they beat down the ref and they strip him of his clothes and he has on his little tidy whities and his damn tank top tucked into his underwear and they take his clothes and they wrap them around their fists
They're choking
and
each
then they
other with
start
the rest
yes
club.
they start
so I'm
strangling each other.
Yeah, they just
I'm
fucking strip his ass.
98% I'm 98% certain the beating up of the ref is why Albie picked this match.
Who the hell gave
Because
him another pair of pants?
that's what I was wondering. Because like his pants get ripped, dude. Like they get ripped in half, like
You
tearaway
see
pants
it. It's
style.
when they're rolling around on the mat, and again, it feels like a bar fight. Like they're not even trying to win the match anymore. It's after like trading nut shots, and they're just
They
rolling around on the mat, like trying to choke each other,
which is so
elbow each other, like
which is a
crush
good
each
point we
other's
should make
nuts
here.
with their knees.
The reason why they beat up like they don't just beat up the ref since I shouldn't say senselessly. So the ref is kind of fucking on him like the whole file, right? Like he is
Yeah, he needs to mind
like
his damn business. They're trying to fucking kill each other.
dude
Not
dude
trying to win. At one
at
point, I
one
think
point
they both
really
realized
quickly,
like this cage is so rickety.
dude,
Yeah,
oh my god.
it's scary
Let's
as
just,
fuck.
I'm just gonna beat you to death.
Yeah, they like realize that like we can't climb out. Like that's not an option. Like they try, right? Like they try a couple times. And like I think that is why the ref at like certain points will like go over and like grab Pero's foot. It's cuz he's like he doesn't want this motherfucker to die. He's just like, holds his foot. But like he's like kind of just fucking on him the whole match. And then finally, like, Pero gets mad, nut shots Sangre, and then goes to just like start climbing up, and then that's when the ref like holds him, and he's like, "No, no, you're not." Like he like pulls him back down. He's like, "You're not gonna win that way. You're not gonna get to just nut shot and leave." And then, and so naturally, Sangre gets up. What's he do? Nut shots Pero back. And then like they both like then he goes to leave and the ref does the same thing. And then that's when they just like are like whatever. And they
It's so
they
good. He
just
tries to raise like each of their hands individually. Like he tries to
Mhm.
raise Sangre Chicana's hand, and he's like, "No, fuck you." And then he tries to raise Paraguayo's hand, and he's like, "No, fuck you."
dude, it is so funny them like beating down the ref. Like Fu said, where did like did somebody give him their
Yeah, no, you
pants?
see it when they're rolling around on the mat, like choking each other out. Somebody runs out and gives him another pair of pants. So there's like a moment in the match where he's in the
But
ring,
like
like
yeah,
putting
he's just
on
like
more
he's
pants.
like like laying on the floor like when you like let a little kid dress themselves, like pulling their pants on.
Yeah, and I did pick this match because I mean that's part of it because it's funny, but also like every punch
The
they
match
land in
itself
this
is
match
crazy.
is unbelievable.
They're
Like
bloody
it's
as
like a
hell.
boxing match. I actually do not know how they're getting up from that shit.
It's
And of
the
Dude,
course,
counter
Andre Cicada
punching
bleeds
too.
a gusher immediately. But
yeah,
he
they're
he is wailing on Paraguayo, dude. It's unbelievable.
they're like wailing on each other. The they and like them like it's funny because of how they work over the ref, but like it's like the only time in the whole match where they like agree on something. The rest of the match they're trying to kill each other. And then like for the like 1 minute like they're like both dedicated to just like declothing this ref and like stomping the shit out of him, which is so funny.
Because he's
But
stopping them from destroying each other, which is what they
Mm-hmm.
really want to be doing.
yeah, and like anytime then from there on, like when the ref like tries to go up to him, they just bump the ref and then like immediately start going back to him or like back to each other. And so finally, yeah, they get to the point where like the ref is like saying like no more, no more, like I'm done, like you're done, this is it. And like both of them are like still just like no, like what? We just want to finish the match, dude. Like why are you trying to tell us to draw? Like what's wrong?
Yeah, there's
Like
one point where Paraguayo hits him with a punch, and he like stumbles towards Sangre Chicana, and he catches the 1-2,
dude, it's
and
so
then he
funny.
gets whipped into a Paraguayo big boot, and then it cuts to the greatest pizza commercial in history.
Yes.
Oh
Oh my
my
god.
god, the pizza
That's the
commercial.
best pizza commercial ever.
Dude, they're like all
Caesar's
pulling.
Pizza.
Okay, so they're like it's a bunch of wrestlers. I don't know who's who. I can't remember. I didn't take the notes on it, but they're like it's a bunch of
No, this is
wrestlers and like
best
a
just
referee.
experienced. I don't think you should be taking notes
Yeah,
or
they're like all
just
like playing tug of
experience this.
war, and my first thought is no, don't drop the pizza. And then they like throw it down, and then it's just a wrestler just sitting there, just like eating the pizza, and like I think he says like a line or something, and yeah, what an all-timer pizza! Like that would make me want to order that pizza
Yeah,
like
100%.
immediately.
Two of the
And
guys.
then we cut back and everybody's getting hit in the dick.
Yeah.
I was gonna say two of the guys have like Huracan Ramirez style masks, so it might be
Just like a bunch of randos that they just got in masks for the commercial.
could be, or it could be like an offshoot. Like it must have been one of the guy. I don't know if they ever was there ever a tag team of Huracan Ramirez's or like
I don't know. You're the guy who would know, brother.
I have to look it up now. I'm really interested.
Regardless, it just adds to the atmosphere
It
of this match
really
because
adds to
there's
the.
random points where it cuts to this geek in front of a sign that says like Mascaras y Caballeros,
Yeah, I
and
was
Yeah,
he
I
talks for
assume.
literally
like
I
8
jamming.
assume
seconds, and
that's.
then
I was
it cuts
jamming
back
Ob. I was
to
jamming
more
Ob.
murder.
I was jamming Ob. Like, who the fuck is this asshole on my screen? Get the fuck out of here. I'm trying to watch
I
wrestling.
assumed this was like their way back, like in and out of commercial. Like that was what I assumed
Yeah, I
was
don't
like
know, but
that
every
dude
time it's not him, they're just punching the ever loving shit out of each other,
or the pizza
full
commercial.
force in the mouth.
So like yeah, that's the finish of this match, right? Is it like there's it's really a no finish, right? They just kind of
Well, he tries to
they
raise
both
both their hands. Nobody wants it, and
and
then they like because they're machismo and they're all and then as soon as they get back to it, the Sangre Chicana gets the upper hand. Paraguayo tries to escape out the door that the
uh-huh
referee opened to get new
opened.
pants
Yep.
Mm.
because of that. Before that, they've been trying to climb out, but now the door is open, and Sangre Chicana just shoves him out the door.
Yeah.
Like he just pushes him onto the floor, which I guess means that he wins. But then they keep beating the shit out of each other,
They're
and the ref
beating
keeps
the
trying to
fucking
stop
piss and
it.
vinegar out of each other.
And then you just sort of get the crowd converges. There's kids climbing on the cage.
The cage,
There's
yeah,
old
which is
men
like
going crazy. There's old women who seemingly couldn't give a shit less about what is happening in the ring. And then they throw Sangre Chicana on their shoulders and carry him out of the arena.
yeah, they like carry him out like he's like the folk here. I mean,
He
you were saying it,
is.
Foos, that like
God damn, what a
that
wrestler,
Pero
Sangre
is like
Chicana.
the
Jesus Christ.
is like the folklore hero, but like they carry Sangre Chicana out of here like he is the best guy ever. Like he is amazing, and like put him up on the shoulders. They don't care that he's bloody as all hell. It's so good.
This really is 90% punch kick too, and it's
Yeah,
unbelievable.
But it's not.
like that's
It's never boring. It's never just. I mean, it's like all of it is like they're living and dying by those punches and kicks.
Yeah. Oh, what a match! I hadn't seen this one
Yeah.
before. I had not watched this one before.
Oh.
I didn't even know it existed. It's not even. I don't see a single like I'm looking through the Lucha database,
Yeah, it's not on
and
there. They
it's
have a
not even
lot of
on here.
matches against each other, but that's not one of them that's listed on there.
Yeah, I see one in Monterrey in '87, but it says this is a hair match, and this is not a hair match. This is a draw.
Yeah. And
That's
it's
why
a,
I
I mean,
said
it's a
it sort
cage
of it
match.
just exists out of space and time. It's just you want to see like a lucha brawl. This is it, man. This is it, and nobody even cares that it doesn't have a finish. It's just it was that unbelievably great.
Dude, he's a ton of fun. Like in this match. I love all of it. It is definitely one of the matches I did not expect to watch this week. Like I did not expect to watch something of this caliber, I guess is the way I'd put it. Um I
And
didn't,
again, I
and
said
that's
it at the beginning when we were talking about his son. There's that narrative around Paraguayo that
mhm.
he was, all charisma and he wasn't great in the ring. That's horseshit. Total horseshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I 100% agree. He's like him and his son. Obviously, like I'm a big Perito guy, like in general. Um, like when I think of luchadors, this is one of the first guys I think of is Perito. But I probably should watch more like Paraguay Senior because I feel like he does everything probably better. But there's something to me about that, like the shit eating Pero Somal
Well, Perito
Perito.
are so cool, man.
Yeah. It's
And that
hard. It's
era of
hard to
Sinaloa was
find.
so cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's hard to find like almost impossible. I think there's maybe a few where it's like prime Pedro Senior, like at his best, like his absolute. Because I mean, just that time they weren't taping, they weren't. It wasn't on TV really. Um, but what we have now, like the triple ass stuff, like from the early, like from the '90s. I think at that point he's already like a hero, like he's already like
But he's
revered as
so
like
good. He's so fucking good in that role too.
yeah.
Of like he's the hero and his comebacks are just spectacular and he bleeds buckets all the time. God, he's so good.
Yeah. Uh, to kind of move on here, um, Dom does have a monkey point this week.
That we will never
Does
find ever.
we'll probably never find because I don't even know what this it is. The show is called Skull Shit
Skull shit.
10th Anniversary Skeleton Festival. Um,
It was
Dom,
taped. It was
it was
taped.
taped. It
It
was
was on
aired on
Samurai
Samurai
TV.
TV. Dom, what? How did you even end
I
up here?
I don't know. I don't remember. I'm sorry.
That's honestly that's amazing. That's probably better. It's I kind of love that. I'm not gonna lie. Um, that is I mean I like looking at the clip of the card that you sent us. You didn't send us like a full screenshot of the card. Like Masato Tanaka's here. I mean that's not saying a
It,
ton.
yeah,
It's
he's on. Yeah.
2006, but Tajiri's on here. Um, teaming with Erica and Margaret. I don't know who those are, but against actually, as I read some of the names on this card, it makes more sense for you because it's Erica, Margaret, and Tajiri defeat Blue Devil Spider, Giant Vabo, and Red Devil Spider. That's I can't think of a match that sounds more Dom related
I tell
unless
you
it
what,
had
they
like
couldn't carry Paraguayo's jock. I tell you that right now.
Yeah, probably sure. You're right. 100%.
Oh hell yeah, yeah, yeah.
Erica, come on, where you at?
Erica, yeah. What's up, brother? Moving on to the cage match game. It is my pick this week. The scores as they sit is Dom 7, Aubie 5, and me 0. Foos has no idea who I picked. Um, as do the others, obviously. I did, last time we had a guest on, I did tell Ethan beforehand. This time, no idea, no one knows. Um, are you guys ready for their overall cage match rating?
Ready.
It is a 7.89.
7.89. James Storm.
It is not James Storm. Is James Storm rated that high?
You better be.
Can I get Kato Kung Lee for
Who?
500? Yep.
Oh, is that who you thought that the one guy from
Yes.
yeah, okay.
Brady, do me a favor and look up Kato Kung Lee real quick and giggle.
Okay, I will do that live on the pod.
He has an MMA fighter page?
Kung Lee?
Dom
Yes.
just Googled him. In the
Dom also.
yeah.
I mean,
Very
what's
fucking-
what is so crazy about him? Like,
I don't know, he just looks funny. Okay, wait, so I actually have to
okay,
link. I have
hold
to
on.
link this MMA card now because, guys,
This
look
picture
at the
is
wrestlers that are on this card. I'm sorry to
this specific picture
yeah,
is
that's a crazy
crazy.
picture. I literally don't mean to interrupt the cage match game, but look at what I just fucking discovered. What is this? What is this MMA card? Brazo de Plata lost to a heel hook.
Oh, shout out Brazo de Plata. I meant to mention he was
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Santito's
he's
second in that
Yeah.
match.
he has Santito's second.
Yeah.
Yeah, he at one point, yeah, that's fair because he starts trying to get the crowd. Wait, Hikaru Sato versus fucking who am I? Why am I
Electroshock!
blanking? Is Electroshock? Thank you.
What?
Hold on. Open the link that he sent in the group chat.
Give us a
please.
review, Brady. You can't be fucking
I'm
around.
sorry,
This
that's
powder ass wrestler that he sent. Looks like
bro,
the
that's
mask.
crazy.
This is just
Oh
this.
my god.
This is wild. I've never heard of this.
This is worth the derailment of the cage
Yeah,
match
well,
game. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You think we could find this? You think this is
Deep
This
Nine
is gonna be the monkey
Impact. I
point.
gotta find this
No,
immediately.
well, there is a Brazo de Plata MMA match out there.
All right, let's get through the cage match
Yes,
game,
you're
and
right.
then we can then we can try and look for this. All right, you guys ready for the first review?
Let's go.
Yes.
It is a 5.0.
Oh.
While he was and is really cool to watch and had some really incredible in-ring moments, there is the unfortunate truth that many of his programs and feuds are wildly uninteresting and he almost never did any character work. No matter the gimmick, there are no real details to his character at all.
Dean Malenko.
It is not Dean
he's
Malenko, even
probably
though I know
rated
you
higher
wanted it to
than
be.
This is obviously Chuck Palumbo.
This is not. I love Chuck Palumbo, but this is not Chuck Palumbo.
You're the first person
Somebody
to ever
clip
say
that.
I love Chuck Palumbo.
Dude,
What was the rating?
I've
What was the rating again?
7.89.
for that review or for his overall?
It was overall 789.
7.89, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no, dude, I love Chuck Palumbo, like, retroactively, at least, still. I don't know, I mean, I don't know if he's, like, I don't know what kind of person he is,
Could
but,
not
like,
tell
as a
you
kid,
one single detail.
about Chuck Palumbo? Were you not a big Billy and Chuck guy?
No.
Nothing? Alright. I like Chuck Palumbo because he came out on the motorcycle. This was, like, when I started watching wrestling, he
Brady
did
Big
basically
Undertaker
No, this was post Big Evil Undertaker. So like he was just like he just continued that
Big
gimmick.
Harris Twins fan.
He was on SmackDown.
Yeah, he was a SmackDown guy.
I wasn't
Kind
watching.
of vaguely remember Chuck Palumbo. I don't remember him doing anything. I remember
Literally,
him showing up.
all I
maybe sometime.
remember about him is that he married Billy Gunn.
I was gonna say I know Foos was Foos
He
got
was
into
in
the same
WC
era.
Dub. I remember that.
Yeah, like Foos got into the same era of SmackDown I did. I know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
from like we've talked about this, and like this was like I was always big on like guys having gimmicks where they could come to the ring on something. which is why I like the Mexicools because they came to the ring on something. And like I didn't, 6-year-old Brady did not understand that them coming out on lawnmowers was racist.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know. I was just like, oh, cool, they get to come out on lawnmowers. Anyway, are you guys ready for your next rating?
Yes.
I love that Foos answered. He's not
I
even
love this.
playing.
Look, I love this game. When y'all play this, like
It's a lot of
I'll
fun.
be
Who's this
Yeah,
playing
playing
along.
for
exactly.
you, Brady?
and I want you to know, like when y'all did the one with Kevin Nash, I knew as soon as you said something like not a good worker or some shit, I said Kevin Nash. And it was like one more thing after that.
Nash.
I was like, I
All
fucking
right.
knew it.
This one is an 8.0. Workhorse. He wrestles more in a month than some other guys do in a year, but always looks good in the ring. Enhancement isn't a glorious role, but he knows how to make guys look good. His in-ring work communicates well with an audience. It'd be nice to see him booked in something meaningful.
Can you read
Man,
that
that could
again?
be a
I feel
long
like I
round.
swear to God I didn't pick up on a single word you said. This is
It's
on
a
me.
8.0 workhorse. He wrestles more in a month than some other guys do in a year, but always looks good in the ring. Enhancement isn't a glorious role, but he knows how to make guys look good. His in-ring work communicates well with an audience. It'd be nice to see him booked in something more meaningful.
Is it Canyon?
It is not Canyon.
I'm trying
Hobby,
to think.
any?
To me, the way I'm narrowing this down, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it's probably not too modern because most of the modern guys have a crazy inflated cage match scoring. Like,
I mean, he is a 7.89. Like, I mean, you got to think, like, that's.
yeah, that's really good. But if they're calling him a workhorse, then okay. So a workhorse whose also character is not really changed at all, but he's more of an enhancement guy.
We haven't discussed what happens if the guest
Yeah, I was just
guesses it.
thinking that. Oh shit. Well, I guess that's humiliation for
You
Brady because
guys,
he
yeah.
still hasn't gotten shit.
Avi, do you have anything here? Or are you like?
Taka Michinoku.
It is not Taka Michinoku. That would be a crazy pull. Foos, do you want to give it a guess?
If his
Brady, that's
only
a good
guess
point.
he gets it, I mean that's gonna be fucking awesome.
Do we
Yeah,
get
that'd
one
be
more hint,
crazy.
or is this like the last hint?
We get one more.
Okay, let me
Or
get one
you
more
guys get
hint.
one more.
Let's see that last hint, and then I'll throw a guess out.
Mhm.
All right. Let me see if I can. I have like he has a bunch of reviews, but a lot of them are like one sentence. um. This is a 8.0. You guys ready?
Yes.
For a guy that's been wrestling 21 years and mostly done a lot of high flying, his body is really held up well. Guess the yoga really does the trick. I do like that he's more willing to mix in technical wrestling and submission to keep his matches fresh.
Spanky.
It is not Spanky.
Yoga? Who the fuck else does DDP yoga?
Conan.
Now,
Okay, so
Is-
somebody who's high flying workhorse character hasn't changed much. They've been
yoga.
around for 21 years, and they're like yoga.
I know who it is. God damn it.
All right, Dom, come on, give it a
I
guess.
I want to give you a bullshit answer. I really want to give you a bullshit answer and say Butterbean. I know it's not Butterbean.
No, don't say Butterbean. I'm not gonna.
Ah, who is this?
21 years.
I'm just gonna. The only person else I could think who was doing yoga shit is it Scott Hall?
It is not Scott Hall.
It's
Fuck
Evan
me.
Bourne.
Is it Rob Van Dam?
It is not Rob Van
It's
Dam.
Evan Bourne.
It is Matt fucking Seidel. I
Damn.
finally got a point. I
I
finally
was
got
so
a point.
close.
Here's my thought process, right?
Spanky.
St. Louis guy. He recently had a pretty he's a really good CMLL guy. Honestly, they should book him more.
Dude, Matt Seidel is an unbelievable wrestler, man.
He is so
He's
goddamn good. He's an
He's
unsung talent from that era.
Yeah.
that's why I was like trying to find one because there's a lot of ones that talk about like shooting star press and stuff like that,
Yeah,
and
that
like
would
I
be
knew if I
amazing.
said that, it would have like. Well, granted, I don't know because if I would have said shooting star press, like it could have been Paul London too. Um,
Who's about to
yeah,
become a CML guy.
I'm finally on the
One
board.
night.
Yeah, yeah.
I was
We
kind of,
finally get-
hoping Foos gets it just for the fucking crazy factor.
just
Just
so
to
just so Brady wouldn't get it.
just I don't get
Yeah,
one
just
point.
for the Brady
Point to
fucking.
Brady.
All right,
I'll get him
I
next
feel
time. I'll get him next time.
I feel a little better now. Yeah. Um it feels good. That makes me feel a lot better. Um yeah, I do think he should be booked in CMLL more cuz like when they were sending him
He should
down
be
here
booked
down
everywhere more, man. He's still in crazy shape.
that's what a lot of the comments on the ratings talk about is like he's like really like he's always a guy that you can put in a ring and like if you need to get somebody over or you need him to go out there and have like a like high 3-star maybe low 4-star match like he can deliver. He can be a good bump guy, whatever, and like he worked so well in so many eras. Like whether it was like that early ROH stuff or when he does go to WWE, like he figures it out kind of there. But I mean, he's like it was in the era where like anybody who did high flying that wasn't named Rey Mysterio wasn't going to get booked well, and even then Rey Mysterio didn't get booked well. And so like you have like he's like hindered there, and then like whatever he gets like axed from WWE, and then he like just floats around and is always just like a solid wrestler.
Yeah,
And then he
great
goes
wrestler.
to
Shout out,
then
Matt
he goes
Sydal.
to
Not a
debut
corporate
in
stooge either, so super shout out.
AEW and slips on the top turnbuckle.
That's awesome.
Avi, have you ever seen that? I know you're not a
I'm not
big
even familiar with Matt Sydal and AEW. When I think of Matt
yeah.
Sydal, I think of ayahuasca.
I mean that's real.
When I think of
he
Waka Flocka Flame, I think of ayahuasca. So that's two different thought processes.
I think of Walk
I
Fly
mean
Flame. I think of one of the greatest albums of history.
Oh, of course. You're right.
I saw him at a festival one time. It was a real goddamn.
He just goes like furry festivals and shit now. That's awesome. Good for him.
Yeah.
if you I mean if you said to Matt Sydal that when I think of you I think of ayahuasca, he'd be like, "Oh, have you tried it?" Like
He
that
probably would be like, "That's true, dude. I've done that
Yes,
every
I have,
day."
Matt Sydal. Next question.
Foos, thank you so much for
Thank you,
coming to
brother.
talk lucha with us.
Thank you for having me. God Almighty, dude, I love listening to y'all talk. Y'all honestly like y'all pick some good ass matches to talk about on here, especially when y'all do lucha. I'm like the Negro Casas,
La Fiera
La Fiera,
match.
yeah. When
Oh
y'all were
my
talking about
Yeah.
that, I was like, this
La
is elite
Fiera.
ball knowledge.
So
Dude,
underrated.
he's so they're so awesome. I love La Fiera and Negro Casas. I fucking
That
fuck that name up every time. Who cares?
that's what's fun. That's what's fun to me too about like having you on here. Like this is a podcast that while we can sit here and talk about lucha, it's not it's nothing like what you guys would do on the Club Lucha pod. And so like it is kind of fun for me getting to hear you like kind of live through the match a little bit, which is something like I said, you guys don't really get to talk about a lot or necessarily do on the Club Lucha pod,
For
which is
sure.
still great, right? Like it's always fun for me to get to listen to you guys do like random show
Yeah, Club
breakdowns
Lucha
and
is one of the like four good
for
wrestling
good wrestling
podcasts. Yeah,
podcasts.
shout out Club Lucha.
Yeah, like I've long time listener. I listened to Club Lucha when it was just Foos talking to himself for
Yeah,
like
same.
an
When I was
hour and a
just a
half.
first time caller.
Dude,
I
it
gotta bring
was
back the movies. God, I still watch a lot of those movies on YouTube, and I'm like, I need to make a video about this. I need to talk about this, and I just never
Yeah.
do.
This whole
That was one of the
episode
most
was a
fun
bit,
parts.
not to cut anyone off, but this whole episode was a bit surreal because getting into wrestling, through TikTok, all that bullshit. You know me, I'm a baby, very young. Foos, his account, his Club Lucha account, was definitely stuff I used to see, and I was like, oh my god, I need to get into lucha. I don't know how to, but these guys are so cool. So it's very awesome. to be sitting
It,
here
it
today talking to you with.
it's been really like it's kind of been the same thing for me. Like I've always kind of liked Lucha, but it's always been at a kind of distance almost. I got, I like pretty much every independent wrestling fan in the 20 mid 2010s got really deep into Lucha Underground. And so, I had some guys that I knew from there, obviously, and then some of the names that I knew just from like that scene kind of blowing up at that point. But even then, like that doesn't like Lucha Underground does not scratch the surface. Like it's cool, it's got a cool presentation and whatever, but it's not like it has nothing match wise on like anything I've seen on CMLL this year. Like
It's
It's
so
the best.
beast.
So it's the best 2025 wrestling. CMLL is the
hmm
best big league. Lucha
yeah.
Memes, Zona 23, the best indies.
I told this
The Lucha
to
title matches are the best. Lucha
I told
multi-bans
this
are the best.
to a
Lucha
Discord.
brawls are the best. It's just the
I
best, man.
at the Anarchy show there was a dude who started talking like I heard him mention Zona one time on Friday night, and I immediately turned around and I said, "Have you seen Demos versus Fishman?" And he goes, "No, what happens?" And I said, "He hits him over the head with a car window." And he went, "All right, I'm in." And that was it. That was the whole
I'm
conversation.
in. That's so real.
And
And
then I
he's the
realized
best in the
I
world.
I realized later that he was wearing a IWA Deep South shirt, so he is 100% in. You gotta be in the trenches to have an IWA Deep South shirt. Not even Mid South, Deep South.
um, I was gonna say, you guys humble me a lot talking about how Club Lucha got y'all interested in that. Just because, like, I mean, I say this a lot, but I'm gonna say it again just for everybody listening. I don't consider myself like an expert on lucha or anything. I'm just really into it, like, and that's like, there's like so many other people who like are unbelievable, like historians, and like, like they've kept, like, like Cubs fan, Rob Viper, like Roy Lucier, all of these people who upload to YouTube, who like kept writing like weekly write-ups every week for this stuff, like who kept the history like alive and stuff, because a lot of this stuff is lost, just straight up lost to time. And
hmm
I just
Yeah, I
think it's
mean, a
so
lot of stuff
interesting.
wasn't taped, and
It's
like,
Yeah.
crazy, man. Like I've been a fan for a long time, and I took a long break and came back, and when I stopped watching in like 2019, man, nobody watched Lucha.
no.
I was watching
Yeah.
AAA and a big fan of that stuff. But
Yeah, but
like
that's kind of like,
like when you talked, like greatest matches, greatest wrestlers, nobody was talking Lucha.
Yeah,
yeah,
That's
it's so
changing.
overlooked.
That's
Yeah.
changing. It's
the
not
tide is definitely
near where it
turning.
needs to be. And I'm at the point in my fandom where again, like I'll take a lucha epic over a Japanese epic 10 times out of 10.
I mean, like,
100%.
I am fully lucha pilled, right? But
Yes,
like
100%.
it's still, you know, there's the the Fed heads and the AW fans and all that stuff, but like there has been more recognition and appreciation of lucha lately than at any time in my fandom, and I am thrilled about it, and I love to talk about it, and it just doesn't get any better. Like it's and all the we've talked about some bullshit narratives about lucha tonight, but like it's
None of them hold up.
None of them
at
hold up.
all.
You start watching, you can jump in at anywhere, like any time period, and like you have these like the craziest narratives that pop up, and it's like at this point it really is just like a very subset of fan who talks like this now, where it's like there's no psychology, it's all high flying, it's all, you know gymnastics, all this stuff. None of that holds up if you go, like, if you scratch the surface, just like
if you just watch a Friday show, like that's all you have to
exactly.
do.
Or go
Like,
watch the like we did a Sangre Chicana match tonight. Go watch Sangre Chicana versus MS1.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the most logical,
Hell,
like psychology heavy match you could possibly have, where
just go watch.
everything matters and they don't approach a high spot. But if you
It
want to see that,
happens.
it's there too. And then, like, we talked about the
The
Santito Felino
Santo,
match, right?
yeah,
They're doing Yaveo, but there's that stereotype about that too, where it's loose and
that not
it's
here.
not, man. Go
No.
dig into it.
Watch lucha, watch wrestling. Watch when I say watch wrestling, I mean watch like good stuff that you haven't seen before, stuff you don't know what's gonna come of it, right? Like I can if Wednesday comes by, I can turn on AEW. I know what I'm gonna watch. Monday or Friday come by, I can turn on WWE. I'm not saying I do, obviously, but I can turn that on and I know what I'm gonna get, right? And for a large audience, that is perfectly fine for them. That is what they want. But if you're like real deep in it and you want to see good, like really good wrestling, go watch. It doesn't even have to be lucha specific. You can just go watch something with a luchador in it. Like just
Oh,
and
go to the new WCW YouTube account
oh yeah.
and type Super Callow into that motherfucker,
What
Watch
was
him do
or
that?
that
Hector
insane pulpit to
Garza,
the
or
outside.
La
Yeah.
Parca, and go crazy.
Watch Dr.
What was
And
Wagner
like
Jr. does
Fu
Mystico.
said this in the group chat, but like anybody we've talked about tonight, and people we haven't talked about, Parada Morgan, El Satanico, type their name into YouTube and click on the first match that comes up.
yeah. Or
And
and like the beauty of like YouTube too is it will start recommending you stuff. Like I watched that like the Perito and LA Park match, and it recommended me a Perro Aguero Senior like hair versus hair match.
That's
And
probably
like,
tough.
yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh damn, I want to like I literally like clicked on the link. I was like, I don't care about keeping this match up. I want to I want to watch that at some point. I can't tonight, but I will. You know, like stuff like that, man, is where I like what I want to be into for sure.
I
Um,
really weep at the fact that like you know th- we'll there's so much we will never see like
Yeah.
of
mhm.
especially like the real golden ages
God,
of like
did
lucha, right?
typing in Sangre Chicana versus Paraguayo into Lucha Database, trying to find the date of this, and seeing that there were so many matches between those guys,
We
Yeah,
just will
and
never
we'll
like
never
see.
see.
Yeah.
There's
and
so
like
many
that
legends that we'll never see footage of that we would probably love to see work. It's
Hell,
very
we have
sad.
what? How many Santo matches? I mean, we've got the big one, the
We
retirement
we
match.
yeah, like the retirement match. That's it.
I mean, that guy is legendary. I mean, how
there's a
incredible must
statue
he
of that
have
guy.
been?
We have 52 movies.
Like
Yeah.
people who don't know jack fuck about pro wrestling know El Santo because he is a mythic figure much larger than like pro wrestling. And like by all accounts, he didn't earn the title of like what he is. Like he didn't become that top guy because he had the most charisma or whatever. It was because he was a good wrestler.
Yeah.
And
Please explore Lucha, and if you don't know where to start, literally, like, ask any of us on Twitter.
yeah.
If you come like a normal human, any of us on Twitter, we will point you in the right direction to
Scroll through
untold
Foos's
riches.
Twitter. I mean, really, even I know like Foos has got a like soft spot for a lot of WCW stuff, but even a lot of that stuff
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
is like good, and it's an easy way to be a gateway because like you see guys like La Parca there, obviously LA Park afterwards, but like you see guys like that and you go, okay, I want to see more of him, and then you find matches like the one I found with Perito or countless of the other matches he's ever had, you know.
Truly one of the best wrestlers of all time.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say
like it's
building on that. Literally, if you had ever been watching WCW, right, and you watched one of like the lucha matches that they would do, like the either like the trios or the maybe you just saw them in there with somebody random and you thought this guy looks cool, like he can do some pretty awesome moves, but he's always losing in less than 5 minutes. I wish there was more. There is an
there's a
entire world where like all of the guys who made WCW, like all the guys who were in that LWO back then, like your Hector Garza, Damian 666, La Parca, Psychosis, Hoovy, all of these guys, if you look at their careers before and after WCW, you see that the place where I guess they were like, I don't want to say least interesting because they were pretty damn interesting on WCW too, but the place where they were booked the lowest is that WCW place. In all these other places, like these guys were bona fide like
Yeah, go type El
stars,
Donde
right?
into YouTube and watch one of the top 10 wrestlers in the history of the
of
fucking
wrestling.
sport. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Hector Garza, right? Like
Oh,
didn't do
I
much in
still talk.
WCW.
I yesterday was watching with something with somebody and said that's the Hector Garza dive.
Yes, oh my
He's
god. And
that
then
serious.
even Cicope and Damian, like Halloween, who was
Oh,
like he also uses
Oh, some of
he
that
goes by Halloween.
Tijuana
Yeah,
stuff is
yeah,
outrageous.
unbelievable,
Halloween's one of my favorites.
unbelievable.
He's so cool.
dude,
He was
da-
on the gas for sure.
Damian too, and like Damian in Japan too is like he's like fun there. Like if you want to watch something where it's like if you're a guy who likes
Dude, I love
Japanese
Damien
wrestling,
666. He's so cool.
Los
yeah.
Villanos, right?
Oh my
They were
God,
on
yeah.
And
like
I'm somebody who grew up watching WCW and was like aware of Viano Tucero and all that, but like
Yeah, you were watching those matches live. What's that like?
it was great. It was fantastic. And I thought they were great then, but I thought they were great and minor, and I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Again, if you go back and dig into these guys, they were
yeah,
the
you were just
best
like
wrestlers on that roster, and that was a
you were
hell of
like,
a
oh
damn
these
roster.
you're like, oh these guys are really cool. Oh look, Goldberg, like it's like
Yeah,
as
hell,
a
Laparca has one of the best Goldberg matches out
yeah,
there.
that match is awesome. That match is really good.
Hmm.
Unbelievable.
God,
yeah.
yeah, it's a shame, but you know what? Like you said, like there are more people like taking the lucha pill. There's more people
I mean, like
opening their eyes to what's going on.
I've felt that way even just this year. Like I feel like I mean I've watched more lucha this year for sure than I've watched like ever in years past. Even last year, I watched like a good amount of stuff. But like like I've been making a match of the year like favorites list so that way I can like kind of narrow it down, have like a real cohesive list. And there's 6 matches on it and 4 of the 6 are all CMLL matches. Like and I have not watched a lot of wrestling this year. You know what I mean? Like, but when I am tuning into like 2025 wrestling, it's CMLL because that's been the most fun stuff to watch. I can turn it on and it's like I said, like we said, like it's always
Crazy, easy.
reliable to be
And
entertaining.
the if you go to Japan, if you look in the States, the indies are like in a crazy dire situation. But then you go look at Mexico and you
Mexico.
get like Demonio Infernal versus Tiburon, and you get like you get Damus doing the shit that he's doing, and you get
You get
like
Shilanga mask and shit, and it's so
yeah,
good.
and Lucha Memes, and oh my god,
I was gonna say
You get
shout out to Float, who number
yeah,
one
yeah.
shout out
AML
Float.
guy.
Hmm.
Yeah, Floke,
Knows
like we heard like I heard Floke on the pod, like on the Club Lucha pod, talking about guys like Shunga Shunga Jr. forever, and then like
then he
he
shows
Yeah,
up.
now
showed,
he's
Yeah,
tearing it up on CMLL. Yeah,
yeah, he showed up and like on the that Escuelas, like he looked like the most polished wrestler. Like you could just plug him into like a mid card like Tuesday show, and he
well
would
they
just
have been.
be.
He's
But
getting some matches.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like you can just like throw him in there, and he looks like he's ready, and I'm like, damn, maybe I should listen to Floke more often, because like,
Flo gives me the best
it,
match recommendations ever. So
He
And
knows
that
ball.
that's
Floke
two
really knows ball. Like,
Yes.
that's two guys. Like he was always been really high on Showa, and Showa is
yeah,
fuck. No, I mean, Showa's crazy.
I'm so
he
glad
And
his
has
like
his
career's
ear to the
taken off.
ground. He has his ear to the ground crazy on a lot of these young guys. Like Floke,
dude,
really has his ear to the ground on a lot of
he
these guys.
he might be crazier when he moves to Mexico City.
He should be a scout. Like they should,
They should
he should
hire
be a
him. He
scout.
should.
Yeah.
The joke
No
we've been
doubt.
making of him working in the CMLL back offices should become like a shoot job. He should apply.
Oh my
Yeah,
god. Shout out Floke. If he's ever on here, he'll definitely bring a really good match.
Oh,
I hope he
100%.
will be. Yeah.
yeah. I think he's he like a we I maybe I don't know about the other guys, but if we had a short list of guys like we want to bring on as like a guest, I think he's definitely on it.
100%.
Maybe we do a Lucha episode part 2 and bring him on. Maybe we
We
could do like a
better be
little.
doing Lucha episode part 1,000 because I've got so
Yeah.
many more matches from this week that I didn't
Yeah,
bring
no
up.
shit.
I wanted to put a
Um,
mystical match so bad, but I was
dude,
like,
I so figured you would. Like, honest to God, like I was like, oh, when I invited you on, my first thought was, okay, well, Foos will probably bring a Mystico match because that's his goat. And then
I
like,
really was, but I just been watching so much Felino lately. Like
He's so fun for
I
me
was
now.
like, yes, I was just like, I gotta do because Felino's
Well,
like
your match was sublime, Foos. God, that was so good. And I
it
watched
really.
it.
yeah,
I do. I'm anal or weird or whatever, but I watched it like 3 times, and it was unbelievable every time.
yeah. I mean, I would definitely be down to just go back and just sit down and really like I'll watch it with friends or something. You know what I mean? And like, they may not get it, but I will, and that's what matters. Yeah, it's beautiful. Foos, like we said, can't thank you enough for being on here. I'll make sure to put Foos's all of his links. You have if there's I'm pretty sure you're on everything, aren't you? Are you a Blue Sky guy or no?
Yeah, I'm on Blue Sky. I don't post there as much because nobody posts there as much. But
Hey,
I
that
don't know.
you got 3 minute videos over there now, so you can
That's
I mean I
true.
don't all your edits are pretty short. That's the one thing you've always kind of kept to that like TikTok 1 minute thing,
Yeah,
even when we all kind of made the transition to Twitter.
I
Um,
I always because at that point I was just like sometimes I'll do a minute and a half, and I'll just say fuck it. Like TikTok doesn't get the last 30 seconds. It is.
yeah,
But that I feel like, and this is just gonna be me personal philosophy. If I can't do it in a minute and a half, I can't convey what's going on in this, and like it's too long for me, Because like people
yeah.
have really short attention spans, and you gotta. The hard part is hooking them and then keeping them for a minute and a half to watch the whole thing.
Especially on like TikTok and Instagram Reels, which I know you have like a good Twitter audience, but like I know your Instagram is like
Popping
crazy
the fuck
big.
off, yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
how. I don't know how. It's such a.
All
Honestly,
my
I think
all
it's
my lucha
crazy
goats
sometimes.
follow all follow Foos. El Coyote likes all of his shit. It's
Dude,
awesome.
All my
I
homies
remember just
follow
trying
Foos.
to I remember trying to dig into like Lucha on YouTube one night, finding a Red Card Lucha. This is
Red
like a
card's
free
awesome. Yeah.
plug. Yeah, and he just like immediately started plugging you, and I went, oh, that's crazy. I was like, that's insane. I wasn't
There's
expecting that connection.
there's a lot of cool people who are interested in lucha. And that's honestly the lucha community is really good. Like in many ways, in some ways it is bad too. Like there are certain topics that I'm just like, you know, but um and also their memes like okay, you think the tribalism between like WWE and
Oh no,
AEW is anything like the
is
tribalism that they
Lucha
oh
do.
Facebook, baby.
Yes. Oh
yeah,
my god,
Lucha
they're
Facebook is
funny. They're
crazy.
so funny. Like the stuff they say, like the little nicknames they make for people, and just
But they be
they're
streaming some
actually
shows though.
funny. Yeah.
So shout out.
Yeah,
Fan cam
people
streams.
people be sitting in the front row recording matches in like Monterey or whatever. And like uploading them. That's how you get all that Tijuana stuff. Yeah, dude, this is a great episode. This is by far our longest episode, so I
Yes.
hope everybody straps in
Well,
and
we
was
gooshed a
was
little. We
ready.
gooshed a little
We
about
did
the beautiful art
about
form of
Lucha,
Lucha Libre.
Sure. I appreciate
but
it again. Thank you guys again so much for inviting
Thank
me
you,
on. It was
Foos.
so fun.
yeah,
And if you guys ever want to have me on again, 100%. Yeah, I'm in.
yeah,
This was so fun. So
absolutely. I mean, obviously, like it's real easy to be like, oh, let's do this theme, but man, throw on 4 Lucha matches. I don't think it gets better than watching Lucha.
Uh-huh.
I know Dom was looking forward to this week for sure.
I love Lucha.
Um, thank you guys for listening. Foos is the dude of the week
Of
because he was
course.
here.
You damn straight.
Naturally, as the guest, he
yeah.
he gets to be dude of the week. Um, he made me aficionado of the week 2 episodes ago, I guess now on the Club Lucha pod. So it feels good to return the favor.
Quid pro
Um,
quo.
yeah. Um, if you guys listen to this whole thing, thank you. We're like we said, we will 100% do another Lucha episode, probably another 5. I don't know. This podcast is fun. We get to just talk about wrestling for 2 hours and upload it, and for some reason people find it fun and get to listen to it. And we get to do fun bits like the cage match game and stuff like that. And I kind of love doing it all.
So much fun.
Thank you guys for listening. We will see you next time on File Under Fire.
War damn eagle.
Bye. Yeah, War
Bye.
Eagle. Bye. Fuck the SEC.
Yeah.